Good evening, everybody. Welcome to America's Third Party and Truth Tuesday. Truther Tuesday to some of you who believe in getting to the bottom of the 9/11 Commission report's falsehoods and why they ignored a demolition when the Trade Center attack occurred. I'm equally concerned about all the false flags that have been happening in our country. Many people are asking for evidence. They're seeing only a sketch of evidence, hardly anything. Nothing we can even say even points to murders or group killings, and really conflicting information about the people that did die. So all these questions and no oversight by the federal government, yet they continue to push for gun control on the heels of fake false flag terrorist attacks. We got a call. Hi, who's this? Hello? No, I can get the phone to her. Hang on just a second. Yep, here. Yeah, so I'm working on answering phones, and I'm chief phone operator and narrator and person talking about the political system. We've got a situation in the news where Ted Cruz is allegedly not eligible to be president. And he wasn't born in America. He was born in Canada from a woman who he claimed was a U.S. citizen. Really sketchy stuff coming out about Ted Cruz. We've also got some personal news. I understand the 4chan group has published my name out there, claiming that I'm a person that reacts to people accusing me of questions of my sexuality or calling me racist. Frankly, you guys have freedom of speech. You can call me whatever you want. I'm not in any way gay, and I'm not a racist. So let that be the final word there for you 4chan people. I hope that many people realize that running for president is an ongoing, non-stop effort that I've been putting out there for 7 years. A lot of my ideas are already being borrowed by people like Donald Trump. We've been running this campaign for 7 years without any mainstream media attention, other than some woman trying to exploit a very bad situation that happened in my home about 5 months ago. We were swatted. And I'm not real happy with the law enforcement protocols that are out there. They're not up to speed with the internet. And we've got a growing police state under Obama, and that's disturbing me as well. So I have a personal bone to pick with abuses in the criminal justice system by the justice system. And we need to get accountability from these cops that are being brutal. And all the people in this country who are experiencing this type of brutality know what I'm talking about. We're talking about literally over 1,000 people in this country just last year have died, and they were unarmed. And that's a serious problem. Unarmed. They were blown away. You can imagine people who are unarmed getting blown away. How would you like to walk out and simply try to protest thinking you're going to fight for your rights and then get your head blown off? You wouldn't like that, would you? Well, if it doesn't happen to you, we can hear you now. Heavy it is. Okay, we're talking. That's right. If it doesn't happen to you, you don't care, right? Well, in America, this is the swatter capital of the world now. More swats are occurring here than any other time in the world. So this is an non-stop situation that's getting worse and worse. Okay, we got a call. We have an open line, 707 your ATP. What's up? What's your question? Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you're on.
Oh my gosh, hello. Okay, so I'm a college student, and I just want to know how you're going to appeal to my needs.
Okay. I want to make fixed tuition for all of you guys who are taking in Pell Grants. And I want to double your Pell Grant. Majority rules, everybody. A 2/3 majority wants something. I, as a president, will go with that. We'll be polling people daily at the White House. We'll have a daily chat room. This is not some promise like Barack Obama made about having C-SPAN talk about healthcare. This is a daily chat room just like I've had for the past 7 years. 1 hour at least a day, I want to talk to the American people. And we will be polling you as we talk to you about issues. So yeah, I'm going to be moving in the direction of what 2/3 of this country want. I believe in a supermajority democracy, but I also believe that we have to steer our country back to the constitutionality that to protect our freedoms individually. We as a nation are absolutely the only bastion of freedom left in the world, and we're losing it. We're getting, like I said, a huge and large police state. The truth is, we're being manipulated. So obviously, if you're a student right now and you're paying huge tuition, you're going to be screwed in the end. You're going to be have like a $200,000 loan, and nobody wants to have that or anywhere near that. So what I want to do is make sure that you guys also can get a scholarship at the age of 21 as opposed to 25. In order to get your independent status and say your parents aren't helping you with your college education, you still have to wait till you're 25. I want to make it so you're 21, you can get that money. You can apply as an impoverished college student. So that's a major change. And I also want to make sure that the colleges that pass the Pell Grants fix the tuition rate at a set fee so it'll be manageable. And I'm going to stipulate that they can't charge more than 15% markup on books. That's a huge change. Your books right now are 60, 80% markup. So I want to make sure we have some regulations for people like you who are trying to get an education. And plus, I have a great plan for college students, young high school students who want to take tests in the secondary school system will be actually making money on good scores. That money will go into a scholarship fund. That's something that I'd like to see. And it can start as early as the 5th grade. We can get people to do the amazing work that you're doing in high school should be rewarded with scholarship money, I think. Hey, this is one note to Zenick. Yeah, don't put a straw poll in here. Yeah. Or I will ban you next time. Okay, thanks. Any other questions? Because you're a struggling college student, you obviously, are worried about the job market too, right? Let me tell you, I have a plan to create. Yeah, I want to give you a 6-week to 6-month certification plan where you can actually partner with the private sector and actually get a job in your area. So every area, the universities will offer these connections to the private sector, and we'll start these things up. Even in areas where the government can come in, we can offer you a 6-week training course in solar panel installation, and you should be able to get a $20 an hour job. Or if you want to be an emergency medical technician in our mobile medical units, you get an amazing $25 an hour, and it basically have 6 months of training to do that. But you'd have some real good medical skills that you could work anywhere in the country, even as an ER worker. So you could get jobs in other areas, not just mobile medical units. Okay, the pond of fish, Time Pilot wanted to know what's going on with my pond of fish. We're getting doused with some sort of a silver iodide. The entire cloud structure that we've got above us has got silver iodide in it. And I've got this pond that is pretty much a place that I test what's going on. And I see these fish struggling right now. But literally all my algae died. The entire bottom of the pond looks like it's black. And silver oxide occurs when silver iodide is raining in on us. So what many people don't know is they've been using silver iodide for close to 70 years. Ever since 1946, they've been doing cloud seeding. Yes, there are nanoparticles out there too, Claris boy. Yeah. David, if we gave everyone $4 million from the recent Powerball, poverty would be solved. D's nuts, have you done the math on that? I don't think that works out. There's like a 1 point something billion now in the Powerball. Are you buying a Powerball ticket? Most everybody is. Yeah, silver iodide. It's made from silver nitrate mixed with potassium iodide, and they're spraying it in the air. And the silver iodide is the molecule that forms the union of those two. Silver nitrate with potassium iodide. And then what happens is it attracts water, and they use it to create cloud seeding. And they've been doing this for some time. I'm not asking for personal information other than the fact that he bought a Powerball ticket. I'm not asking for anything else. Anyway, you may want to do that. It might help with your loan if you win. Are you taking loans out to be a college student right now?
I'm taking loans out right now to take it out. I'm over $80,000 in right now, and I am now looking towards the paying off of that, obviously.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, 80,000 hanging over your head.
Yeah.
It makes you almost want to, graduate and then declare bankruptcy.
Yeah. That picture of the dollar that you showed earlier really, really resonated with me. That money has control over your life.
Yeah, I know. It is kind of amazing, isn't it? It's it has total control of your life. I got away from it. I saw what was happening. I got the proverbial $2,000 loan from my credit card when you get out of high school, you get that thing in the mail. They'll give you $2,000. They want to get you hooked up, so you're into it. And then when you get hooked up, I went $4,000 into it. I overdraft on that, so I just said, yeah, I want to do this. I want to enjoy life, and everyone does. And then I realized, oh my God, I was ruining my credit right there. So I called them up right away, and I said, could we make immediate payments and I can get this cleared up? Because I was involved in a woman when I was 18, 19 years old. It cost me a lot of money. And I paid off that debt right away and never hit my credit card rating. But I realized at that point I wanted to disengage from the credit debt that they wanted to have me hooked up to. So that was the best thing that happened to me. In some ways, getting burned early prevented me from going into deep credit debt. And I didn't take out loans, so I can't stand here and say, oh yeah, I've got a PhD, but I don't. So you're looking for a degree that'll get you a good job, and yeah, that might happen. Colonel Sanders called and he wants his suit back. Yeah.
I also have a question. If you're talking about subsidizing tuition for students, what are you going to do about today's welfare state and all the people that are riding off welfare?
Yeah, well, welfare is a program that's being abused, but we can correct the abuse within the system. The coding that Alabama has sends out checks to people, sometimes 3 different people in the same house, and they all have the same address. So all we need to do is make sure that only the biggest check goes to one address, to the person's bank account at one address. But we'll give them some time to plan that out. That person will be the household leader. Right now, we're giving out 3 to 4 checks to grandmothers and mothers and children in some households. There's a lot of welfare fraud there. And somebody said they like the wig. There's no wig here, man. This is really my hair. This is what good hair looks like. All right.
Yeah. Well, I've got a personal story that actually has to do with the paying off the debts. So I went to the bank for the first time, and I walked in and I sat down with my credit advisor because I didn't even know if my credit was good enough to do this. Mm-hmm. And he told me that it was not. So I had to get a cosign on that. So they brought me to the back, and my father was there with me, and then they opened the door. I got on the floor, and everybody watched the dinosaur.
He what? He merely, he didn't want to sign? He didn't want to co-sign? What? Hello? What was that? What did he say? He said he wouldn't sign for a dinosaur? Yeah. Well, Barack Obama created the broken immigration system. So what good is that? He's already allowed 2 million people into the country and given them green cards. And he literally wants 150, or actually 200,000 Syrian refugees to come into the country. Most of them will be, of course, rapists. Many of them are. Just like the 22 rapists that raped all those women in Cologne, fondled them in the streets in Germany. What pool is that, Lideezy? Well, you can't really expect your parents to sign anything unless it's your death warrant. Yeah. Many people don't realize that parents don't really have a responsibility past the age of 18 to take care of you. No, I don't do coke. Why would I have huge eyeballs? I have beautiful eyes that are very evenly spaced with my nose and my mouth. Thank you for admiring my eyes. I'm on point right now, yes. In fact, if we could just talk a little bit about Ted Cruz for a second, that'd be great. Okay, seconds up. Go ahead. Okay. What's your question?
Hello?
Hi, who's this?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Who is this? That was weird. Okay. I'm going private on these calls. Go ahead. Any questions? Do you have a question for me? Okay. Oh, it's you again. Okay. We're calling from he's calling from Ireland using a Skype system, and he's making the call, and he wants to talk about Ted Cruz being electable. I don't think Ted Cruz has the award-winning face you need for the presidency. I don't know about you, but he looks like an asshole to me. You know, I've seen assholes before. This guy's definitely, he's got asshole written all over him. Yeah, you agree with that?
A big thing is, like, you know, this guy, he's running for president, and, you know, he's going to be in court for 2 years. Just, you know, declaring that, all right, am I going to be able to have this position?
Yeah.
And, you know, America does not be wanting a guy who's going to be held up in the court for 2 years.
No.
You know, like, we're going to be looking for a candidate who, you know, it's already confirmed, is already on hand.
Yeah.
You know, who's already an American, you know, nothing like that.
Absolutely. Hit the ground running kind of guy. Not some schmoozer who stands there and pretends to be nice all the time. A face only his mother would love. I mean, seriously, the guy's got extreme social conservitis. And he's bordering on extreme right-wing itis. It's not appropriate. But at the same time, we're looking at the Hillary monster that keeps coming out of the woodwork, and we don't want that either. You know, we're dealing with a lot of negativity right now. I'm trying to minimize it. So we got a lot of things happening, rolling along. So somebody said you have a fake Scottish accent. You're from Ireland.
Oh, no, sir,
yeah.
I'm not Scottish. No, sir, I'm pretty Irish as I come, so.
Yeah, there you have it. You don't have to defend yourself around here, you know. There's so many people that think they're anonymous on the internet that can say whatever they want. I bet more people speak from the heart on the internet. Some of you really are bad people. You're miserable, so you attack people. But then others are really nice people, and they say nice things. Reptilian said there's assholes everywhere. Yeah, good point. So sorry, Ted, if I called you an asshole, but it sure seems like you are. But I think Ted is lying. I think his father's connection to the KGB is suspicious. I think the fact that he has the need to be president when he wasn't even born here is a little suspicious. But Ted isn't really the issue. The big elephant in the closet is the guy who's 80 pounds overweight. And I don't mean Chris Christie. I mean Donald Trump. The guy sporting the big, heavy belly. The guy who's been eating lobster all his life. We got problems with this guy. He's so greedy, he's proud of his greediness. That's a really serious situation when a person is proud of their greediness. We have a candid picture here. I don't know if this was privately taken in one of his clubs, but I don't really want to know any more about that other than the fact that he's jogging around there. At least he's trying to lose weight. Yeah, but I am not a shill, I assure you. I am American. I'm an average American trying to run for president, trying to do the impossible. I've spent 7 years trying to get 1 second of mainstream media attention, and I haven't gotten it. If I was a shill, you'd see me on NBC, CBS, and ABC, and CNN, and Fox, and even C-SPAN. But I haven't received 1 second. That alone should clue you into the fact that I'm not a shill. Yeah. No, Lizzie, I can't bring people back to life. I'm not a miracle worker, but I can tell you that as a presidential candidate, I exude honesty, whereas most of these people are sleazier than hell. And I've never been a corporate guy. I've never been a government guy. I'm not a career politician. I'm willing to throw my life into this race and take a bullet for this country. I don't know how many people are willing to do that. I've never had any kind of a drug problem. I've had many jobs. At one point, I worked 3 jobs just to save up enough money to do this. I mean, I retired at the age of 50. Granted, it was partly because I did the right thing, taking care of my folks. But I urge every American to take care of their folks and make a better life for them in their retirement years. I was lucky enough to inherit a house, a simple modular home. Okay, we got another call. Every American.
Call from
Brady Garris.
to add this caller to your current call, press 5. Press.
Okay, Brady Garris, you're on with an Irishman and us. What's your question? Brady? Hello?
My question is, if you're running for president, why are you not watching the State of the Union right now?
I don't have any respect for the president that we currently have. I left the Democratic Party in 2007, and I believe that everything he's done up to this point has been a disaster. If he's trying to talk about stemming the immigration problem, he created it. If he's trying to talk about solving any problem at all, he created these problems. Okay, we dropped out of that call because we are being recorded. We have to use the Google channel in order to do a show. So oftentimes we have, oversight from the NSA. They essentially are running the backbone of the Google network, as you know. I was living on the beach in Venice, California for about 2 years. And it was a way to, get rid of any connection I had to the middle class upbringing that I grew up in. I wasn't really proud of the fact that I grew up in a middle class suburban neighborhood when other people in the world were starving to death. So I kind of wanted to live the life of a poor person for about 2 years, and I did. And then I realized it wasn't so bad being poor. So I realized it was easy to live cheaply, and then I changed my entire way of living. And after the age of 18, when I told you I had a little credit card debt, I corrected my ways and worked really hard and did the right thing and became solvent and out of debt rather quickly. So I urge you to do that because it's the best way to get free and clear of your current situation. Living for the credit card debt is not a good way to live. So stop buying things, for one. Appreciate the things you have and try to change the way you look at the paradigm we call this reality, this world we live in. I'm going to remove this scary picture of Hillary and the sickeningly sweet fake picture of Cruz in the background. Yeah, whenever the NSA starts monitoring my calls, I drop out of them on the Google network. It's just, there's no reason to have a recorded broadcast from Google. Thank you. We've got our own recorded broadcast right here. I don't have an opinion on Yetis. Yeah, hey, everyone's questioning, how am I in any way? Hey, these guys, it's still there, Larry. We can't control this post that went on 4chan tonight. Many people just go mindlessly into 4chan and think that they're going to follow somebody's clue as to what to do to make themselves feel good. No, don't have any paranoia, and I'm not crazy. So you got the wrong guy there. I'm just not what people want me to be. I'm not gay. I mean, many of you people are obviously bi-curious, so we've had this discussion almost every night for the past few weeks. It's maybe because you are struggling with your attraction for me. Maybe you think that somebody like me is going to be, your lover or something. I'm not gay. Get that through your head. Okay, any other questions? I'll defer to anyone in the room. Thank you, Time Pilot. Chet's jealous of Sarah. Wow. Well, here we are. I was looking at this really cool boat, and I was thinking, well, it's not that hard to have a boat like that. You can afford a boat like that. No, I'm not getting angry. Life is good. When you have a woman in your life like Sarah, 17 years, it's been incredible. I don't think I could be more content in that way. I know. And I want everyone to know that not only are we against discrimination, but we're against sexual harassment as well. She is a wonderful woman. Many of you are amazed by her persona. She has a certain temperament that many people don't realize is very rare. And we've only seen people like Sarah a few times in the world, I think. I think Grace Kelly was like Sarah. A natural grace, a natural sweetness. I don't know how to describe it. It's just everything you always wanted in a woman. I don't have anything to listen to this lying, scumbag, homosexual Muslim president we have. The last thing I need to do is hear from his lying, scumbag mouth. Yes, I did inhale. Okay. Grace Kelly was not in a sex cult. Prove it to me. Hey, what's going on, Andrew? Hello?
I got a question.
Yeah.
I was wondering what you're going to do about the black issue.
There is no black issue. Blacks' lives matter? I mean, that's the black issue? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, no, I'm talking about, like, the niggers,
Whoa! We don't allow racism here, man. I actually am an integrationist. I want people to get along, but I don't want to force integration. I really want people just to communicate. So I'm against what the Democrats are trying to do. Freedom of speech is paramount. We've got to allow people to freely speak out. We don't want to, in any way, stifle communication. If you're angry at blacks, you should tell them you're angry. Just walk up to them and, don't call them names. Just say, hey, man, why are you looking at me that way? Do you hate white people? Why don't you say that to them? That would be a great opening line. Hey, do you hate white people? There are a lot of people who are just wanting to break the ice. In memory of David Bowie, let's just do that. Let's just kind of, break the ice and tell it like it is with people. Yeah, do you hate white people? That's just a question mark, yeah. Because the accusation of racism is hurtful. To call somebody a racist when they're not, it hurts to the core. Do you have a question? I didn't see that, Fred. Let me go back in the chat. Scanning, Fred. You want to talk about aliens, Fred? That's not a question. Well, now, loving people is different. I have a genuine love for humanity, but I can't say I'd like that biker bitch I met at that club. I haven't met a woman I didn't like except for her. Go ahead. Rajesh. That sounds a little weird. No, her name was not Amanda. Hey, what's your question, Rajesh? All lives matter. There's so much racism out there. I mean, you'd be surprised how many closet white supremacists called in this show. It's crazy. Now, you're saying Grace of Monaco was in the sex cult Solar Temple? I'm going to Google that right now and get to the truth of this. I cannot believe that you're saying that about someone so revered. Has this boat attracted you yet? Are you starting to get excited by this boat? This could be your rescue craft to get you out of the trouble if you're in trouble. That's not appropriate. Racism is inappropriate here. But as you know, that's one of the things they targeted me on 4chan. Okay, Grace Kelly became a priestess in a sex cult called the Order. Oh, wow. See, I didn't know about this. Did Grace Kelly have links with a secret cult? Thoughts on Rand Paul being pushed out of the debate? It's as relevant as Barack Obama's State of the Union address. Completely irrelevant. What's happening, man? Go ahead, man. What's your question, man?
I was wondering,
yeah.
How do you feel about the expedition to Mars?
I think the expedition to Mars is going to be impossible relative to the Van Allen belts being so incredibly radiated. Why are we wasting our time trying to get out of this orbit when we have to take care of Earth? We can send unmanned aircraft out there, but sending a human being to that remote location is a waste of our time. Any other questions? There's nothing there. I mean,
real fast, would you cut funding from one part and where?
Yeah, definitely. I want to make good question. I want to make NASA functional and receive a profit. They can't do a profit at all. And in fact, they are giving $1.6 billion to Russia to fly 10 missions to the International Space Station over the next 10 years. It's ridiculous. Our NASA, our beloved NASA, can't even get a payload into the atmosphere anymore. They're becoming irrelevant, and we need to get them back into a relevant return on investment. So we're going to get back to putting payloads out there. We'll reinvigorate an old plan. If we had a payload system going with the Apollo, we'll just bring back the Apollo. I don't care. We need to make money back. And handing it over to SpaceX and to anybody like Virgin Galactic is clearly a big mistake. We're giving away technology that our government and you taxpayers and your family's taxpayers have paid for years. We're just handing it over to Elon Musk and Richard Branson. It's crazy. How do you get rid of herpes? I don't know if it's possible.
An astronaut named Chris Hadfield.
Yes.
And he had quoted and said, with NASA's current plan, it's like they're hitchhiking off the backs of rockets of other nations,
right,
who they once called their enemies. It's just weird. And no, this is a Canadian thing.
Yeah, we are, and we're giving away all this incredible technology to corrupt private sector groups. This has been Barack Obama's plan. Thank you for 769. I'm glad we finally got some notice. Hey, I am the best choice for the presidency, even though Hillary's still quietly talking as if she has anything to say. And Donald Trump is making a fool of himself. I'm the guy with the ideas he's taking. So I'm clearly the person you should vote for the upcoming election, even if you have to write my name in. It's that serious. I need 1 minute.
My vote, definitely.
Well, thank you very much.
I'd like to just, I just like to say big time, and I don't mean to use your show as sort of a piggyback, but I just really want to say a big shout out to one of my fans. Well, excuse me, not my fans, one of my good friends. It's real fast. One, you got my vote, sir. Two, Kelly, big shout out. Apologies how to do that. But go on, sir. I did not mean to interrupt you.
Now, Chet Kelly's a friend of yours? Is that what's happening?
You.
Is that Chet Kelly's a friend of yours?
Good friend.
Okay. Well, I've not met Chet.
Yes,
I've not met Chet. I don't know. You're voting for Howard Stern before me? Well, that's because you like people talking about anal sex. I don't talk about anal sex. So you're probably a person who's really into
talk about serious issues.
That's right, yeah. So a lot of people think that Howard Stern's interesting.
Someone who prank calls a 9/11 victim have your vote. That's just not right. About Howard Stern did prank call someone doing that.
I don't prank call people. I find them funny when people do it. I'm gonna admit I do laugh at some of those prank calls. I could easily prank call people if I really wanted to, give up the whole run for presidency and just start, pretending like I'm different people and be kind of fun. But, many people don't realize that that's violating the space of that person receiving the call. And you guys are laughing at that. That's the problem with that guy, Glenn. He calls up prostitutes on this network. He calls up prostitutes and sets up meetings with them. I mean, women, working girls that are going up to a hotel room and they don't even, they're wasting their time. There's got to be a law against that. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I believe escort services actually are illegal. As that does sound like an escort service that they do.
Well, no, it's not. It's not illegal. It's not illegal if they're just escorting people. But for him to bait somebody and say he wants to meet them for an escort and have that person meet in a hotel room without prepaying, I mean, the whole thing sounds a little weird. There's an edge of illegality that he's skirting. I don't know how or what law he's breaking, but there's got to be something he's breaking. Yeah. I don't do it as a rule. So somebody said you have a sad Elvis accent. Thank you very much.
Oh no, this is actually just how I talk.
Yeah.
See, I was raised in Tennessee, so this is just my accent. I apologize if it sounds a bit, fake or something like that.
No, you sound like Elvis.
Talk, sir.
You sound like Elvis. Elvis is a great icon. No, you don't have to say you're sorry. You're sounding like Elvis. It's kind of cool. All right, that's why a lot of women like Englishmen. They say, "Oh, I love his accent." It's like great. Nice reason to not like American men, then I guess. Hey, I'm not hitting on anybody, man. This is a simple question. We're talking about things in general. But yeah, good questions. We'll get to the big question that I had earlier. Did Grace Kelly have links with a secret cult? I want to get to that. I'm not sure. Hey, Sarah.
Well, everybody wanted to be associated with Grace Kelly. Grace Kelly wasn't necessarily associated with them. Let's just say that.
Well, it started when I said you have a wonderful temperament like Grace Kelly, and And it became, a kind of an open discussion of Grace Kelly. And then they said she was involved in a secret cult. And I'm going, really? Somehow I don't believe that. All right, we are here, and this is our show. ATP is all about
Thanks, Chet.
liberty, equality, and sustainability. America's Third Party. This is Sarah.
Thank you all.
Yeah. I was very pleased to get the show rolling. We got a caller. We got a lot of viewers tonight, which is kind of nice in a way, because I think I've been allowing guest chat, and people know that I don't want servers to be at capacity. I want people to open up and come on in and talk about politics.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry.
I'm saying more than Miss Sarah. Pleasure to be on the show.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, where are you?
We're finding a lot of the people in the South, in Tennessee, South Carolina, North Carolina, Mississippi, Alabama, are really, really friendly. It's really amazing how nice you people are, and we don't get that out here on the West Coast.
Welcome.
We're not as friendly out here on the West Coast. In case you've met us, and I know people that have been to the East Coast in that area of the country where you are, and it's as if your demeanor is much nicer. You just seem to be nice people, more respectful.
We're groomed.
Yeah.
Oh, well, as Hank Williams Jr. said, actually one of my good friends, we were growing up saying, "Man, and if you ain't into that, we don't give a damn." It's just what I actually believe as a song, "Country Boys Can't Survive" by, Hank Williams Jr., but, it's just fine if, people are into that, but it's just how we were raised down here in the South, so.
Absolutely. Well, I'm a Southern girl.
Oh, where you from, if I may? No, I'm, state, of course.
Mississippi?
Yeah. Mississippi.
It was so,
Mississippi.
Yeah.
yeah, but it was pretty funny because I was born in Mississippi, and I lived there till I was 3rd grade, but I moved to California in 4th grade, and everybody in California asked me where I was from, and I said the Deep South, and one person's like, "What, San Diego?"
Yeah, the Deep South of San Diego. Somebody, Wintard asked you where you got that coat, and you got it from your grandma.
I actually did. I got it from my grandma, and then I actually altered the coat for my grandma.
Yep, in Mississippi. Yep, thank you.
Mississippi, yeah.
Mississippi.
Yeah, Mississippi. That's true. Actually, my parents were pretty much hippies from Mississippi.
Yeah. All right, so I'm not going to go around accusing Princess Grace of being in a sex cult, all right? But if you want to do that, that's fine. I've got to read the story about that. I saw the bio from Nicole Kidman that was not related to a sex cult at all. So I never saw the sex cult with that.
Yeah.
But I think Princess Grace is one of the most amazing women that our nation has had, a preeminent queen of sorts. She became Princess Grace of Monaco. But it's just one of those characteristics. She had a very nice temperament, and Sarah has a very nice temperament as well. I did not know Princess Grace, in case you're wondering, if I was her male caller. I was not. Like chair.
You knew an adopted Korean guy from Mississippi in the military? He was probably my uncle. My uncle was, was he? No, he was not Korean. Was he Korean?
I don't know. Your uncle? No, he was from another country. He was
Japan.
He was adopted.
Never mind. He was
from Japan. Hey, we lost a great.
He was actually one of the first Japanese that was adopted.
We lost a great artist, David Bowie. Many of you may have not known his music as well as I grew up knowing David Bowie's music, but he was one of the best creative forces in video music that we've ever seen. And I think the country really is kind of losing out. I don't think we'll be filling his shoes anytime soon.
Then that wasn't him. 16.
No, sir. Whenever you lose those kings, there's just a hole there that once was,
Yeah, I know.
And it's real sad, and it's a real big shame, but, you just got to keep going, and, as time goes on, you're going to get new kings, new queens, new people, and, then as more time goes on, you get a new host.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm not going to concern myself with the fact that his music kind of took a dark turn with pentagrams and all kinds of stuff. I couldn't believe the darkness of that last movie, or the last release album called Black Star. But hey, I mean, he was facing death, so I mean, what a perfect time to be dark. So I guess he just decided to make that a poetic statement and decided to go the distance and really raise real huge questions. I sense that David Bowie felt that he wanted us to do something, that he wanted us to change the world, like the song Changes. You know, these are things that I think are not really materializing the way we thought they would. So it's not exactly happening the way we planned. You know that in the 1960s, the cigarette companies actually had a plan to legalize marijuana. They were going to produce marijuana cigarettes, the cigarette companies were. And it's taken almost 50 years, since the 60s, for us to actually move in that direction. And now people like Willie Nelson are opening up their own line of medicinal marijuana stores, and they're going to open up their own line of marijuana cigarettes. I mean, I'm sure Philip Morris will probably get in on it once we legalize marijuana nationally, but
absolutely,
there's a lot of people that would love to see that. And it's going to help our economy too, big time. We're not going to be able to recover unless we have something viral like that to change the nation in some way. So I wear the marijuana insignia on my shoulder here to remind you of that. And let's see, we've got an amazing picture that came into the show last night. This is perhaps the coolest thing I think I've seen on the internet. It's like, wow.
It's pretty wild.
It's like, whoa, that's just tripping me out here. Yeah, it's like, whoa. Yeah, yowza. So welcome to Hippie Dave and the Truth Tuesday Hour, where we talk about the importance of helping everyone get better and curing our incredible problem with the addiction to consumption. The country is consuming too much and not consuming enough. You know, we're not consuming enough fresh air, clean water, good quality material built to last, and we're consuming too much garbage made in China.
Now, with the whole entire made in China issue, I gotta ask, like, are you gonna do anything to, get more American-based products, despite the press of American-based products? Or would you choose to go with an actual ally, such as, maybe just for example, England or someone like that, or maybe Ireland or someone, just buy goods like that and from them, from Ireland or somewhere.
Well, one of the
so in Ireland, as an example,
well, what we do want
how would you support American-based industries?
So one of the things that we do want is we definitely want to support American-based industries, but you also talked about possibly still having imports, and we would like anything that is imported into our country to basically be produced under the same laws that we have in our country, which would then encourage businesses to come back into our country. For instance, a lot of goods that are created that people want to take to market, they often go to other countries because they don't have the same laws like the EPA laws, the Clean Air Act and things like that in other countries to abide by. But we would like, if you are going to import anything into our country, the production process needs to abide by the same laws as is in our country, or there will be a 15% tariff on it.
Right. We call this the ecological tariff, and it's simply a plan to make sure people abide by human rights concerns as well as the environmental
and environmental laws. So basically, any human rights law or any environmental law that we have in our country, any good that was imported in must actually submit a videotape of their production process showing that they do in fact comply with our laws, and I would like to add that caveat that they could be just like our businesses be subject to inspection.
Yeah. Yeah, the thing is, all of this can be managed in a 15-minute in-camera edited video. Correct. Outlining the process, showing a little bit of the environment that they live, one of the workers' houses, for instance.
So showing the outside of not necessarily workers' housing, but showing the outside of the facility, showing the inside of the facility via video tape, and so that we know, yes, they do indeed comply with the EPA laws. And if they did not do that, they could either do that or there would be a 15% tariff put onto their product that they import.
Right.
Now, real fast, like, who's to say, like, say if this new company comes up and they want to trade with America, like say, for example, China, they bring this new factory and they do this and they record everything, except all the recordings and tapes are for a week. And, they send you the recordings from one day and say this was for a whole month. And the next day, it was for the next month. Who's to say, that doesn't happen? And, the conditions are the same, but it seems different. And you're just taking their word for it. Now, how would you go around preventing that?
We want to have them sign an affidavit saying that we will definitely be able to come in at any time and inspect their facility without notice.
Random inspections without notice.
Yeah. Random inspections without notice.
Similar to how the UN does it, though.
Right, but the UN has a 24-day advance notice.
They haven't been very successful with, especially, as you said before, Iran. How would you say?
Yeah. Well, they have a 24-day period that they warn Iran that they're going to come in and do an inspection.
That's not without notice.
That's not without notice.
Right.
24-day advance notice.
It was in Iraq in 2004 and 2003.
Well, we have these provisions in place. Let me tell you, we don't even have random inspections of our existing casinos. There's no National Gaming Commission. There's only state-run gaming commissions. So the casinos are managed every state individually. So there's no oversight whatsoever of casinos in America. I mean, how are we going to manage European or foreign or Asian import markets? And so obviously the 15-minute edited video is just the starting point. Having random inspection capability is their willingness to sign that paper. Otherwise, we'll slap a 15% tariff on them. Now, unlike Donald Trump, who took our idea in 2012 and doubled it, made it a 30% tariff, that's going to hurt the economy. That's going to hurt trade with China. It's not going to help. And it's certainly not going to deal with the environmental abuses and the human rights abuses that are going on. So we are actually using the ecological tariff to tie in a prerequisite for good trade. And if they don't want to do that, they just pay 15% more. It's not that big of a deal. And maybe the customers will carry the cost. This is a slow transitionary process. This is not something where it's either or, my way or the highway. This is a gradual handshake with companies. And gradually they can earn our ability, they earn respect, and we will waive the 15% tariff. But generally tariffs hurt the economy. They always have, traditionally. And we don't want that. We just want some accountability. And we've never seen that from Obama. He doesn't seem to have any teeth in anything he does. So that's why we engineered the ecological tariff. Yeah.
Now, also, I've noticed that you always go for Ted Cruz, Donald Trump, Obama, and Hillary. But what do you feel about Bernie Sanders, if I may?
Yeah. Bernie Sanders has been the thorn in the side of Hillary, but he seems to be siding with Hillary, too. And it's shocking. I don't trust that.
I do have to agree, because at the Democratic debate, he said that he would love to be Hillary's vice president, and that actually got me confused. And I don't know if you've seen House of Cards or not, but House of Cards, this woman runs for the election and then switches and joins in with someone else, having their voters support this person, which gave them a boost.
Yeah, I know. Okay.
And,
we're trying to get into the chat room. Thank you.
What's it called? What's the word?
Threesome?
Rigging the election.
Oh, rigging the election. Yeah. When I think of that movie, I think of the threesome that they're involved in. I think it's the movie is strange, but it evokes the kind of corruption that currently is going on. In no way would Bernie be a strong candidate if he wants to immediately just suck up and be Hillary's vice president. Plus, he did say that he's tired of hearing about Benghazi. We haven't heard enough about Benghazi. I'd like Barack Obama to address the issues about Benghazi and how he misstated what happened during that time period and why he misstated. He doesn't answer those questions. He never answers any questions. Let's keep trying with a new browser. Let's try a new browser. That might be the problem. Let's see if that works. But yeah, he refuses. He deflects any questions regarding Benghazi as well. So Bernie's defending Hillary when he should be attacking her. We're not really sure what his end game is. Hillary can't come clean on what she did. The big fact that has been ignored in the media is that one day after Benghazi, Hillary Clinton went ahead and removed the MEK terrorist group from the list of known terrorists. And if that's not payback, I don't know what is. I mean, taking the name of a major terrorist off the list of terrorists for 40 years, they were on the list. The day after Benghazi, I mean, it's almost like they contracted MEK to do this hit on Chris Stevens and to kill him. And it looks like Hillary and Barack are complicit. And nobody in the media is saying that. They're just saying, we want to know more. Well, we're way beyond that now. And there's ample evidence to suggest there's a cover-up regarding what happened to Chris Stevens when he was immolated or asphyxiated in his embassy area, and why he was still alive in the hospital. And one witness saw him alive in the hospital. There's what happened in the hospital. I mean, why has this whole story been covered up? And we really do need to know more. And recently, her email was distributed. They revealed a whole new batch of emails on New Year's Eve, and people are going through it to see if there's any connection between her efforts and now the Clinton Foundation, the Global Initiative Foundation. There's a strong suspicion that she was using her government ties as payback for all kinds of donations to her campaign. That's why she has $2.3 billion in her campaign war chest. Okay, well, there you go. All right, we're going to get some control. Let's get...
I would suggest also clearing the chat before you do, and anyone that does it from then on. That's just my personal suggestion.
Yeah, we're going to do that right now.
I can't.
Are you signed in?
No.
Oh, that's why.
I was signed in. But...
Okay. All right, so can't stop. Let's play the music. I'm going to play some music while you guys fool around here. Sarah's going to...
No, you're going to sign in here.
This is clear right now.
It's not.
This is clear right now.
Browser.
Okay.
It's not.
This is clear right now.
Browser.
Okay.
It's not.
This is... Let me get this. Hang on. All right, we're up and running, everybody. I think a lot of you want to play some music. We're up and running, everybody. I think a lot of you want to... Hang on, we're going to play some music. We're up and running, everybody. I think a lot of you want to... Hang on, we're going to play some music. We're up and running, everybody. All right, here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, we're going to play some music. Thank you for the call. I'm going to drop out of the call. Thanks for your call, caller. We'll talk to you later.
No problem.
Call anytime.
See you later.
All right, thanks, call from Tennessee. All right, take it easy. Can't stop because we won't stop. We're going to keep on doing the show till we can't stop anymore. Yeah. Okay.
We're going to dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop.
Can't
Can't
stop.
stop. We can't stop.
Yeah, I need
We
to
can't stop and we won't stop. We're going to dance all
But I've
night,
been
bring it on to the
doing fun
sunlight.
stuff in the
We can't
past.
stop. Can't stop.
So let's be clear.
In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim. America's Third Party.
Sponheim for president. Can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop.
First we hit 'em low, then we hit 'em high. Underrated, but we made it to the finish line. Rhymes designed to combine and intertwine. Spring to the summer, fall, even winter time. Beats banging harder, then head-on collisions. We make incisions with precision and quick decisions. Pause and double visions if you wait up the speed. You need to speed it up, partner, piano lead.
Can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight.
Is there anything about
Can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop,
nothing actually that you want, right?
we can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop, and we won't stop.
In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim.
Great.
America's Third Party.
You don't like that? OG
We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop,
Yeah. For now, there's not any trolls for a few moments. I'm sure they'll be back, but oh well.
we can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on.
I'm not gonna loop it. I'm just gonna talk to you guys for a little bit. You like my glasses? Thank you. Are you a troll? Good, yeah. You're a troll. Trolls are people too, so I hope you're doing okay. Well, I did, OV. As you can tell, I finally did deal with the spammers. Alright. We'll go. The spammers were ruining your life, chat. I'm so sorry. For a moment there, something happened and I could not get into chat via the Firefox browser. David's one is starting to win me over with Opera. I have to say, so I was able to get in with an Opera browser and I couldn't get in with Firefox browser. So good job, David. And then when I finally got in, I had to sign in, and then because it was a new browser, and then yes, so then David got the guests off, and then yeah, it took a little while. Sorry about that. Somehow they got me kicked off of my Firefox browser. I'm doing well. How are you doing, Carl? And then I finally put on, well, then I was like listening to the music and it seemed like the trolling was going with the music, so I was letting it go a little bit before I actually put the slow on and started chopping down, get rid of the trolls, getting it down to those things. Based Trump 2016, what is that? No, we're promoting David Sponheim for U.S. presidents. So that's who you need to be promoting in here. No Trump. Yes. Oh, yes, they were slowing the channel down and you couldn't follow what were going on. Yes, when you get 6% of the people in the room, it happens. Well, what do you think? Pen 1 is lover? What do you think? This is my natural hair color. I'll say that much. Yes, are actually, Carl. We are programming. We are planning a trip across country this summer, and you can program with this music, the Can't Stop music. That's courtesy of Scissor Fights, so you can ask him for the music, and that would be good. You called in, you talked to David and everything. Fantastic. No, actually, Potato Grill, I haven't turned it on. I just haven't done that. Oh, sure, if you think so. Well, David already made a guest appearance on that show, Zombie Reagan. He's on the phone, and hopefully he's eating his dinner as well. No, I think David is more manly. That's why I'm with David. Oh, it's been tamed and wrecked. Ruins. Oh, you called in to talk to me. You weren't happy with all this spamming. I'm so sorry. How about I go blow off? There we go. Soundbite guy, I know. I killed all the lag flutters. Yes, that's what it was. And maybe that's what it was. I was getting lag from all the spamming, and then it's lagged so bad that it actually kicked me off on Firefox. So good job there, I guess. Maybe. Oh, how's that working out for you, Zombie Reagan? Is there actually any money in that? I thought that was all freely available on the internet. No, David is not watching it, and neither am I, Potato Girl. I might watch some of it later, but I don't have cable, so I would have to find a stream online, I suppose. We're living in Washington State currently. That's where we reside. You're welcome, Ovi Ruenthal. Nope, I'm voting for David Sponheim. This is who I'm voting for. David Sponheim. Oh, okay. All right, well, that explains it more because, of course, those are the only people that actually might pay. Do I live with all the Seattle liberals? Actually, it's kind of funny, Soundbite Guy. We live on Whidbey Island, which we have a big Navy base out here. And so we have a lot of Southern transplants, is what I want to say. People that are from the South that transplant up here. So that's actually how we are. In this little neck of the woods, it's actually quite conservative. We actually live on the largest island in the continental United States. And on the north end of our island, they're quite conservative. And on the south end of the island, it's quite liberal. So, and perfect place for America's Third Party. Okay. It is. They actually had a legal dispute with Long Island, and Whidbey Island is actually longer. Pretty unbelievable, but yes, Whidbey Island is actually longer than Long Island. The places we're planning on visiting much of the similar places that we did last time. I don't know if we'll go up to northern New York. And that was pretty nice, Carl, but I'm not sure. That sounds pretty good. I possibly could, Golden Bear. Right now I'm supporting David's campaign, so, but yes, I suppose anyone could run for election. I can help out in the kitchen. I'll say this, cooking does not relax me. So some people like to cook, and it's like, oh, I can't wait to get home and relax and make a good meal, and people like to do that for relaxation. That is not me. So I'm capable of cooking, but it's not my favorite thing to do. Yes, Western New York. Correct. Awesome, Carl. Well, I mean, no, I mean Northwestern New York, like Buffalo area, because I think it's different. Yeah, anyway. Can I... Yes, I can sweep under the table. Again, not my favorite thing to do, but I'm capable.
All right. Hey, everybody.
No, I can't promise you anything, Golden Bear. However, I will say if you work to get David on the ballot, I will definitely remember that very much.
Hi, Carl. Awesome, Carl's here. Can you name me, Golden Bear, as ambassador to China? Wow. Well, you can always send your resume to us at AmericasThirdParty@gmail.com.
How was your dinner? Did you eat anything? Did
heat up
your coffee?
I heated up my coffee. I took my break. I'm here. I'm ready to go.
Oh, do you need to eat something?
No, I had a big lunch today. I ate about 2,000 calories. So.
Oh, you had a big lunch today.
Yeah, I'm good. But
okay.
There's some pasta salad in there still for you.
And I have some rice, and so
okay.
I might go take a break and
Please
actually eat.
Enjoy. Yeah, great. I'll field questions from people, and we'll take on. We just talked to somebody, got us some good information, which will help us. We're still developing our chat hub for people. That's going to be something as an option for you guys who have any access issues to getting to our show. We're going to have an alternative chat hub for you guys to watch our show, guaranteed, and be able to chat in multiple networks, but that's still something we're developing. Yeah, this is a great cup because it keeps it nice and warm.
We have Soundbite Guy, but it doesn't hurt for them to hear the message from more than one person. So if you could do that, that would be great as well.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Elvis Man, please spread the message.
Now we got a few people on some medication. Zombie Reagan, he says he's about ready to snap. He's not been taking his meds for 3 years, and the doctor can't see you till February 22nd. Well, why don't you just sit back and sleep till February 22nd? Just sleep late every day. That'll help. Excessive sleep is a sign of depression, but at least it'll keep you from getting into any trouble, if you're sleeping all the time. I think fast food workers that want $15 an hour for serving burgers it's untenable. There's already been 200,000 workers lost their jobs in America because of the $15 an hour deal. Restaurants are closing in Seattle and Chicago, and they're not able to hire people at that wage. And we're seeing McDonald's Corporation get rid of 600 stores this year because of sales. So how can we introduce a higher per hour wage, minimum wage, and expect companies like that to survive? So I support a $10 an hour plan. And Dallas Trucker, please don't present your Social Security number on the show. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, that's not a good idea, man. Okay, I'm only fielding political questions. Anything personal, you'll have to consult a psychiatrist to get your answers. Ask your doctor if he needs to give you meds. All right. Anyone questioning my integrity, my heterosexuality, you must be out of your mind. I believe you're the ones that have bad gaydar. You elected Barack Obama. You're the same guys that think that he's straight when he's clearly gay. I'm definitely straight. But, yeah, you're not to blame. I mean, what are you, just an average person? You probably think that this hermaphrodite named Billary is a transsexual. I mean, that's what you probably think, right? Not realizing there is no such person as Billary. All right. Well, my name is hot. David Sponheim's a great name. I'm a person who grew up in America just like you, went to the public school system, hated the Marxist college that I went to, UCLA, hated every other Marxist college I went to, and decided I just wanted to start a business. But people like Bill Clinton, he basically sold our nation off to China. And now we have a problem. We can't even grow things. We can't produce things. We're losing our production. And Barack Obama is like the last guy you'd ever ask for a new idea. Obama doesn't have any new ideas. He hasn't had any new ideas since he started the office and pretended to be a president. Being a puppet is his big idea. Yeah, it'd be great if you could grow weed legally, yeah. I don't. I refuse to break any laws that would in any way jeopardize this beautiful third party that I'm building. But, yeah. I definitely think once we legalize it, you'll be able to grow it. I'm kind of all over the chat room here, if you excuse me. You could be my bodyguard, but you sound a little unstable, Zombie Reagan. You'll have to go through 4 years of intense training in the Army Rangers to actually qualify for that position. Can you handle that without your meds? I never said I was a pothead. I'm just supporting legalization. Yeah. Thank you. What do you find most sexy about me? You can be specific. Well, I prefer the Army Rangers because they have pretty rigorous requirements. You know, I think a lot of people don't make it to the final cut in the Army Rangers. And we could create an X-Force out of that group of people. Like, say they missed the staying underwater for 5 minutes. Say they didn't make it through the rigorous training in the battlefield. 3 days carrying a 90-pound pack. I mean, those are the guys that make it are really intense, but somebody just barely made it would be a good soldier, don't you think? Do you understand me? Would you make a good soldier? Yeah. Wow, so many things to talk about. So few things to really address. Let's talk briefly about the U.S. property that is currently being seized in Bern, Oregon. Our greatest virtue is our land. And in 1971, this map was created. And it created all that red land, which is federal land. Richard Nixon did a thing called the Nixon Shock, in which he pulled us off the Bretton Woods gold standard and then introduced the petrodollar. And at the same time, he created the EPA. Richard Nixon, the Republican, my fellow Americans, I'm not a crook. That guy. And in the process, the EPA has done absolutely nothing but intimidate, harass, and screw over landowners, the people in the blue. Are you with me? Yeah. Well, they got the red part, but now the feds want more of the blue part. Are you with me? Cricky Dick. I talked to Haldeman, and I'm asking Henry Kissinger. Anyway, he was a funny guy, but not that funny. He put a few hits on people, I'm sure. But the fact of the matter is, this is our blue property is now under attack by BLM, Bureau of Land Management. So in Oregon, out in Bern, Oregon, lots of people are gathering right now and trying to make a stand and represent really what matters most, which is our freedom, our liberty, and our right to land ownership. And they don't have the right of eminent domain over these ranches because these ranches supersede their desire to control the land. And what they're trying to do, these land grabs by our federal government, is to try to take uranium rights, gold rights, extend their territory so they can continue raping the land for China. Yeah, you're not just hearing China because it sounds like Trump. I've been talking about this for 8 years. Our country is literally being bought up. And we've got corrupt politicians selling it off piece by piece. So that's what these guys are fighting against, and that's what you have to understand about what's going on here. You want to be my bodyguard. Yeah, we heard that. It's not rape if the land enjoys it. Interesting use of words. The land does not enjoy being ripped into the... Yeah, let me tell you what the EPA just did about 2 months ago. They released cyanide into a river, Colorado River area. Cyanide is being used to make gold out of old gold mines. What they do is liquefy the cyanide and they send it into the water table. Well, guess what? The good old America is turning into cyanide America. Yeah. That's what rape feels like, Larry. Yeah. That's what it feels like. Remember The Big Lebowski? I do. I actually had a unique experience with him. You know, the guy who plays in The Big Lebowski, Jeff Bridges. Yeah, he was drunk one day, and I was standing outside of a store I was working in Santa Monica, and he got out of his limo, and he was like all over the place, and I caught him from jumping in through a plate glass window. I like, hey, wait a second, buddy, and I grabbed his like, hey, Jeff, and I'm like holding him face to face, and I was like, hey, Jeff, hold on here, and then I saw his limo driver, approach us, and I'm like dancing with Jeff Bridges out in front of the... What is the topic, Golden Bear? Yeah. I'm not gay. That's the topic. Many of you are in here from 4chan and don't know why. You're watching the guest chat. I want you guests to chat. I know that it's important. So I don't want to keep you out of the show, but... Yeah, most universities would turn down a person with a my IQ. I'm far too liberated. Yeah, I saved the dude, man. That plate glass window was going on him, man. It would have been bad. It might have affected his future. But he doesn't even remember it happened. So if you were to ask Jeff, do you remember that guy? He's like, The Big Lebowski. You're from 7chan? Is that competing with 4chan now? What's going on with that? Yeah, Bubba's Room, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to give you a handle about all the Red property. And by the way, you are the real owner of the Red property, but right now the Fed doesn't see it that way. They're selling off the land that you own. Yeah. We know silver oxide is a byproduct that happens when the silver iodide interacts with water. So my entire pond turned black this week from all the chemtrails we've been getting. The entire sky is blanketed with this silver iodide that they've been spraying in the skies since 1946. It's amazing that they get away with this, but nobody's questioning them. Yeah. If you're a U.S. citizen, you can donate anything, up to $5,000. But stick to one question and one question only. Otherwise, I'll ban you. All right? Thanks. Remember the Maine. I don't think that would be something that would work out, especially for you. Remember how constipated you've been all your life? Yeah. Yeah, many people were coming into the show because I've been trolled on 4chan. I get that. You realize how many times this has happened? I mean, you can't even count the number in your head. Yeah, I've done more shows than you flush the toilet in your life. Many of you don't understand that a lot of the biometrics involved in this show come from artificial intelligence sources like Google. I do challenge that. You flush the toilet less than I've done hours of shows in your lifetime. Yeah, I've done 7,000 hours of broadcasting. I won't tell you how many minutes that is. I've met a lot of people in the film industry, and obviously, these two people I never met, though. Is that Caitlyn Jenner and Julia Roberts? It's the Mutual Admiration Society. That's it. Pretty lady. David, you probably have the longest running internet show ever. I don't know. Yours was running a long time too, Awesome Carl. Remember that? You used to have a long Star Trek show. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the non-religious hour. Politics only. No, I never met Ron Jeremy. I saw him on the freeway getting pulled over by a cop in 1986, August 4th. 6 p.m. 6:32 p.m., I believe. Definitely Ron Jeremy. Definitely. Hey, I don't talk about specifics, okay? We've got a Spencer calling. Spencer, that's an interesting name. Hi, Spence. What's up? Hey.
How are you doing, David?
I've talked to you before. I can sound... You've called here before, right?
Once, yes.
Yes, I remember. All right, so what's your question?
My question is, what inspired you to wear the white suit? Because you sure as to what was the actual inspiration there. I mean, I think it's unintentional, but it sort of comes off like that.
Yeah, I know.
Like those
Well,
albino twins.
the last thing I want you to question is the relationship to the Matrix, Spencer. I talked to Mr. Anderson and asked if I could borrow this suit for a moment.
Yeah, I think you should go into voice acting, actually.
I don't do voice acting.
And, like, subliminally drop in, I don't know, things like, hey, guys, you don't have to support just one party or the other. There's, like, alternative options.
Yes, it's the Matrix.
I think that'd be a good way to do.
Yeah, I should do that. I was thinking of calling up, pretending to be Tim Gunn from Project Runway, and call up and ask if I could get their endorsement. Well, hello, how is everybody? Let's just make it work. It's something like that. That'll be good. Hey, DDD, you're over chatting here. I'm gonna purge you, man. Go ahead.
Yeah. So actually, the last time we spoke, you mentioned that when you were talking to the chat, that President Obama, he's never actually supplied proof of him going to Harvard.
Right.
And you had mentioned that it was a little odd that people were willing to just take him at face value, because he's never backed it up. He's never shown what was it, a diploma or anything to that effect.
No, he never will either. The fact is, we're 7 years into this, and we can't get any information about Barack Obama's history. That's the same problem we faced in 2008. It hasn't changed. One of the reasons why I was a birther back then is because I don't believe anybody who can't support anything with evidence. I don't believe a lot of the crap going on right now with all the terrorist attacks in America. There's not a lot of evidence that suggests that it's really happening. People are getting killed in the cities of Chicago. I mean, there's gangland violence going on. That's happening. That's real.
With that in mind, I'd say in fairness, then, can you show us your high school diploma? Because I mean, if you're gonna say in fairness that Obama has no proof that he went to Harvard,
yeah,
show the diploma.
Yeah.
You have your high school diploma ready right now to show us, because then we're taking you at word value.
Yeah, maybe I wasn't even a graduate of high school. Maybe I was just hatched on this planet, like the man who fell to Earth, like David Bowie. Yeah, that's what you're suggesting.
It's a little too soon for that.
Well, you never know.
Show us your diploma?
Of course, I'd love to show you my diploma if I had it here. I don't have it here. It's in a vault, in a locked box.
That sounds pretty convenient.
Not really, considering it really is in a locked box.
I don't know. I mean, Harvard hasn't spoken out against President Obama. I mean, you figure a massive educational institute would say that, he actually never went here, but they haven't.
No, because I believe Harvard's complicit in this. I believe they've been told by the CIA that they can't talk about the elephant in the closet. Barack Obama doesn't have any appearance in a magazine that I pulled up 1 year after an interview was done, in detailed interview, about the minorities at Harvard, and he wasn't named once in that magazine. Hang on. Hey, it's me, Awesome Carl. Oh, Carl. Hi, Carl. How are you?
You figure.
Okay. I sent the caller voicemail. Goodbye.
Goodbye. All right, so do you plan to slow or stop the influx of illegals? Carl, I'm going to make sure that we don't allow illegal aliens into our country. That's going to be a thing of the past. People will have a pathway to citizenship through our fast-track naturalization program. But in no way do I want to allow refugees into the country either. I'm going to put them in Ellis Island and Channel Islands and the encampments that we currently have in Nevada and Arizona. And then we're going to deport them. We're not going to allow the refugees in. I don't want rapists in my country. We've had enough of that. Are we still talking to somebody?
Call from.
But in no way.
To accept, press 1. To send a voicemail.
No, we're done here. Is it on slow mode, Amanda? Did you have a hard time getting in? Okay, I'm going to do slow off. I gave the guests a little tease just a second ago to see if they enjoyed the experience. Yeah, that was fun. So definitely support legalization. We've got a lot of problems with the Hillary Clinton campaign right now. She's slowly starting to implode. The best thing for her is to not say anything. So far, she's doing a good job of that. Turn off Activated? Okay. Will do. There you go. Okay, let's see some new people. All right. Legalizing shrooms, Channel 4th. Okay, well, that's one of the things that 2/3 of the country can agree on. If 2/3 of the country agree that we want to legalize shrooms, we'll get that happening for you. And we certainly want to respond to any questions that related to politics. So focus on politics, folks. Don't ask me stupid, irrelevant questions that you know the answer to already. All right? We don't have a lot of time. We're slowly losing our ability to control the future. It's getting out of control. Go ahead. Awesome Carl. See, it didn't sound like that. It's Awesome Carl, everybody. Hey, Carl. Thank you for calling.
Hey, how's it been going?
Benghazi. It's been going pretty good. It's Benghazi.
Yeah.
That's what it's Benghazi. And we're tired of... I want to talk more about Benghazi tonight, if I can. But I've got the constant nagging reminder that Donald Trump has been borrowing all my ideas, you know, the ones that I've been talking about for 6 years? 6 or 7 years?
I know, I've been telling people that.
I know.
I told them they're basically stealing your ideas that you started 8 years ago.
I know, it's crazy. Well, anyway, I'm just dealing with the reality that that's happening in a big way, harder than I thought. I'm tired of the consumption society we're living in, Carl, and I don't want you to go deep into debt like so many other people. And now that you got your job, are you going into debt, or are you buying more things now that you're working?
Oh no, I've already got $2,000 in my savings.
Oh my God!
After like 4 paychecks.
Oh, you're awesome! Look at that! Wow! Let's have a celebration. Let's do a little dance. What do you say? I mean, Sarah was talking earlier.
To the sunlight. Can't stop.
Let's do a little celebration. Carl has saved $2,000, everybody. Don't keep... So you're fighting the consumption battle. Fascinating. Boy, you are amazing. Many people who work hard like you do, Carl, actually treat themselves too much. That's the problem. They get a little bit sassy.
I'm just saving up for some land.
Okay, good.
There's a 10 acres near me that I actually want to buy. It's only $50,000.
Uh-oh, wait a second. We got to stop this. I'm going to stop this. He just said he's looking at buying a...
Do you agree with you?
You told me you didn't want it. Wait a second. You told me you did not want to actually... Thank you, Fred.
Oh, land, I know. Things have changed.
What happened? Why do you want to buy land now?
It started growing up, basically.
Oh, you don't want to live in an apartment the rest of your life anymore? Okay. Wow.
I figured bouncing around too much is enough.
Okay.
But,
Fair
I
enough.
do agree with you that Hillary, every time she opens her mouth, she sticks her foot in it.
Yeah, same with Donald Trump. He's got a lot of foot and mouth-itis. Yeah. Is Sarah single?
Trump
No.
is basically just trying to play on the fears of the American people.
Yeah.
And I hope most people realize that and ignore him.
Me too. I know that I can't ignore him. I did not watch the ridiculous State of the Union joke that he put out. I'm tired of the lies. I've heard enough BS to last a lifetime. So yeah, I want a different approach to government now. I'm tired of this guy reading off a teleprompter, and that's why I don't read off a teleprompter. Never have. I'm really excited to hear that you are thinking about getting an investment. What about buying some property? Have you thought of that? Just land and then putting a mobile on it?
Actually, I'm going to buy the land, then build a house.
Oh, there you
I
go.
want to build a house that basically, the last several hundred years, old-style building, so it's going to take a little time. So you buy the land, then wait a couple of years and build the actual structure.
Okay, cool. Well, I'm building my
I
altar
want it to be
too.
like an old Victorian style.
Oh yeah, that'd be nice. Are you gonna build your own or fix one up?
Build one on the like I said, build it on the land basically.
Wow, this is a party we're having. Yeah.
And products, not the cheap stuff.
Okay, thank you. Well, that's cool. What I envision is putting a kind of a tiny house up. And have you seen those tiny houses? They're pretty cool to warm, just initially, and then building something bigger. Yeah.
Like the ones you can hook up to your car that are on like a trailer or something that people take camping sometimes.
Yeah, they're called trailers, but you can actually get a trailer. Yeah.
Funny.
But tiny houses are becoming the rage out here in the West Coast. There's a huge movement of people creating tiny houses, and it's a sustainable movement. But the states and the governments are impinging their will and telling people you can't park here, it's not zoned for people living in the tiny house. And the whole country is getting more and more interested in getting into these tiny houses and sustainable living. The thrust of our nation really is about getting out of bills and having to pay payments. The average American wants to get free of the burden. But the consumption machine is creating more and more burden for people as they continue to buy more luxury items that the TV tells us to buy. And you're defying that. And that's what I really respect about you. You're defying everything. Every single mold.
No, I defy authority too, so.
Well, exactly, but it's helping. Yeah. It's helping you get out of situations. I mean, look at the beauty of living in a house like this. Let me show you guys. I mean, the simplicity of it. I mean, it's on wheels. Yeah, it's made out of, particle board or whatever you want to hack it together with. You can put cedar on it, but look at that. Isn't that cool? Just the whole idea of living in something simple like that. It would be so okay. It's easy to heat.
It'd be nice, like if I was camping or something.
Yeah.
But to live in, I couldn't see myself living in something small.
No.
I like wide open spaces.
You like the wide open spaces. Give me the range. Give me the whole.
I used to like the noise in the city and stuff, but slowly, like I said, as I get older, I seem to be taming out a little bit.
Okay. Fair enough. Yeah, well, I'm glad you got your act together, man. It's a watercolor golden bear. I don't know, it was some sort of a Buddhist message. Did you guys receive that Buddhist karma message that I gave you? I was trying to give you kind of a positive karma thing. Did it work? Are you all feeling healed? Whatever.
Now, I actually have a question for you. I know you have a thing for the people who want to become doctors and stuff. Like, government pays for the school, and they go work at, like, some public hospital. But what about nurses? And I'm wondering about that, because a few of my coworkers have watched a few of your old videos.
Yeah.
Are wondering about that, and I wasn't sure exactly how to respond, because I couldn't remember if you had a plan for the nurses as well.
Absolutely, yeah. I want to maintain your pay scale. All the nurses out there, I want to help you guys maintain your pay scale. You're not the ones draining the hospital, but you're doing all the work. The hospital is getting drained from up above. You got an administrator that's making $800,000 a year, and you guys are not nearly getting close to $30,000 a year. I want to raise the lower level salaries for a lot of workers in hospitals and give people more varied training programs through local community colleges so that you guys can work as EMTs, alternating as conventional nurse practitioners or licensed vocational nurses. You can have a potential job anywhere in the country working with the mobile medical unit system I want to deploy. So I really want to support the nurses and the orderlies and all the people that are working at the ground level. The ones that are really sucking it dry are the doctors, who are then taking their huge salaries and investing and becoming trustees in every hospital. And some of these hospitals are nonprofit public hospitals. Some of them are not paying any taxes and getting away with a tax-free status, and they still give each other big salary gains. There is no method to control that rampant waste of money going on, except by offering an alternative through the government programs. I don't want to affect the private healthcare system. I don't want to go in and tell nurses at the private hospitals what they should make. But the nurses that are working at our public hospitals and our nonprofit hospitals will be paid a set salary. It'll be a known salary that'll be set with a pension plan. It'll all be right up front.
I work in a long-term care facility, and it's a non-for-profit. But the good thing about at least this place, unlike hospitals, is they don't care how much overtime you do because they care more about having enough people to take care of the residents. They're called residents because they live there instead of patients.
Oh, okay.
So I like actual places like that, and maybe the government should start looking into possibly encouraging other places to do stuff like that.
Yeah. I totally would encourage Facilities have group plans for people. Group living environments are far more beneficial than us paying out individual salaries for special needs workers to go to your house. It's far more effective for us to actually get people into group living situations at whatever their stage of recovery is. I like to say it's stage of recovery because for a lot of people who are, in dire need of some faith and hope, the idea of recovery is becoming harder and harder to realize. And I know that their life should be at least cushioned by a good quality group environment to give them some sense of community. Thank you.
Yeah, and some places at least try to keep it at a good quality care, because some people go there that are actually near the end of their life cycle, basically. Like, I have a resident that's real sick. She may already be gone. She was pretty much almost gone the night I'm back. But essentially, you try to make them as comfortable as possible. You also try to give them comfort of living and give them activities to do. Not like they're laying in bed all day.
Right, yeah. Well, I'm going to get up for a second. I want to walk around. I just want to show you that I'm wearing pants. Somebody said I wasn't wearing pants. It's kind of funny. Okay, yeah, well, have you had a situation where you have been, you've been close to a patient and they died yet? Has that happened to you?
Not yet. I covered on the floor, and I was, because I do pick up shifts as well, had a resident die the next morning, but not one during my shift.
Oh, okay.
Because if that does happen, we have to clean the body, wrap it, and do all kinds of other stuff that I've never done yet.
Well, there you have it, yeah. Well, the thing is, if you do get involved with somebody emotionally in your job, it can be harrowing. One of the biggest problems with healthcare is if you really care, your health could be affected. If you just give too much, you become overworked. A lot of our young doctors, residents, should have a much better track. I think the government should create its own medical school and bypass the existing private medical schools and just create a medical school that'll offer people a basic general MD and be able to treat people almost like an old family doctor used to be, and do this in less than 3 years and simplify it. And then we would pay anyone to become a doctor initially, and they would pay it back in service, like a 10-year plan. But you'd still make a salary, but you'd work in our public hospitals. That's one of the keys. That's getting people to pay back their education.
Actually, too. But the problem is with med school is, unfortunately, they tried to take the human out of the doctors.
The human? Yeah, that's
so
right.
They're all interested in keeping someone alive rather than, is it proper, is it their time,
Yeah, well, that's the thing, the heartless healthcare professional is the other alternative. I wonder how many people in that field are in it just for the money. Now, that's one of the lingering questions. That's why I want to put an alternative medical plan together, an opt-in health plan where people don't have to mandatorily buy it, but if you want a good full-service plan to cover your health care and your dental needs, we'll have that for $60 a month per person. That's a very affordable plan.
That's a good idea.
$60 a month is what I'm shooting for. So it's no more than your utility bill, your sewer bill. It's not that overbearing for families. And this way we'll bring in, if we get 20 million people, initially we'll bring in $12 billion a year, and out of that we'll pay out in public hospitals only. It's kind of like Kaiser, but it will be linked to all our nonprofit and public hospitals. It's bigger than Kaiser because it'll be a national plan. And there's a lot of nonprofit public hospitals that will have to jump into the plan or jump out. They'll have to say, well, they don't want to be a part of it, or they're going to be a part of it. And with the plan will be set fees for every single procedure that you try to seek in the hospital. Your healthcare, your X-rays are going to be a set fee, your MRIs will be a set fee, and all of it will be published up front on the website. And we'll also have information about the doctors, background information, which we're sadly lacking right now. If you go to a doctor and you can't really verify whether they've got multiple malpractice suits against them, You just can't. And when you're sick and there's something really wrong, it's an incredibly screwed up situation.
Well, not to mention when people are sick, okay, the doctor's ordered a test, they send you to a specialist.
Yeah.
You wait 2 to 4 weeks just to get in to see the specialist. And then someone could be dead. It's kind of dumb.
Yeah, exactly.
But,
okay, Jason, we're gonna pull you out of the show.
I doubt it would work.
Yeah, I just want to. Yeah, hang on just a second. I just want to tell Jason, Jason, I'm going to unban you. Sorry I banned you there, but yeah, you're not really. You don't understand the system. We've got a system on our hands where there's so much corruption in our system. If a guy like me runs locally for a local office as a third party, I would probably be destroyed like I was in the last election in 2014. They're not going to allow a guy with great ideas, a free thinker, to enter the two-party system. So don't think I can start small. I've tried that. It doesn't work. So if you really want an honest man to the presidency, you have to get behind me, not against me, Jason. Thank you. Okay, back to you, Carl.
Oh, I was just thinking that instead of your idea is nice, having a coverage like that, but couldn't we possibly consider, say, and now this is probably a bad idea, but say 10 cents per check per person, maybe going to a health care coverage that would actually be nationwide health care coverage for everybody.
Yeah, well, that's a single payer plan. I don't really get into the single payer plan. Actually charges every single person who's working and their employer for everybody who's not working. We have Medicaid funds right now to cover people who have no money. That's built into our system.
Yep.
But we are paying those Medicaid funds out to private insurance companies, private healthcare providers. It's just not right. I mean, we've got a major drain on our income. Tomorrow is Wasteful Wednesday. We'll talk about that specifically. I do want to talk about 9/11 because it is Truth Tuesday, and one of those big things is to talk about how we've been lied to since the attack on the Pentagon and the World Trade Center. Look at this leaked video.
Hello, it's Tuesday, July the 26th, 6:14 p.m. Just got this video. I'm sure many have seen this, but I've never seen the captions right here. These little explosions, I circled them, that clearly point out there's no huge jet flying into the Pentagon, and right there. I mean, come on, that is not a jet flying into it.
Right.
Where'd this video surface? Why is this not, more abundantly found on the internet? I have never seen this one. And it's clear it was not a jet.
It's not
how much more obvious can it be? Probably
it's
one of those
pretty
things.
much of a missile. So that begs the question, if it is a missile that hit the Pentagon on that fateful day, then there must have been some sort of a conspiracy of some sort to make that happen, because lowly terrorists from jihad land weren't making missiles and directing them at Pentagons. So yeah, so big question there, and also the fact the government, the FBI, only released 15 frames of the actual photograph of whatever they saw heading to the Pentagon. A white streak is all we got to see. This is what the FBI did reveal. All right, so taking a look at just 15 frames is not enough to really... And the fact of the matter is there were 85 different camera angles that were not given. So why were they only releasing 15 frames? Yeah, why only 15 frames is the question you have to ask. And that's the red herring. That's the thing that you have to...
It does look like the tip of a missile.
Yeah, it looks
on
like...
a plane.
Right. So if there was a missile...
Right there, you freeze it, it does look like it's a tip of a missile.
It sure does, yeah. It's either that or a very large sex object flying in the sky. Flying dildo. Okay, so anyway, I just wanted to raise that question right there. There are a lot of questions that we'd like to have answered, and well, I just want you to know that as your president, I will open up an independent investigation of the 9/11 Commission report for all of you who really believe there was something going on, that it was just not a nice clean cut of terrorism. And in no way am I a racist. Yeah. But thanks for
Maybe it was a
coming on the show.
combination of terrorism helped with the government official.
Yeah.
I mean, you never know.
I'm trying to avoid getting that sneaking extra weight, so I'm working out. Are you working out too, Donald? I mean, Awesome Carl? Are you working out?
Yep, track season actually starts next week.
Oh, really? Wow. Are you going to run?
Always do.
Are you
Until they
serious?
rolled me off the field, I will continue.
Wow. So you're a big runner. That's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I had no idea that you were still running. Diet is the key. You're right. Yeah, cutting back and now that's hard to do for a lot of people who work out. They really like to. We all see how nice and lean David Bowie was, but look at that leanness. Wasn't exactly healthy.
He also had cancer.
Yeah, so I heard. Yeah, but the good thing is he's in a better place now. Yeah.
Yep, he's rocking it up in the skies.
Yeah, he's in a happier place because even if you're an atheist, which I know you're not, at least he's no longer in pain. That's the thing. A lot of people don't realize how important it is to get out of that pain. And if he was suffering from liver cancer, it probably wasn't that painful, but he was suffering the after effects. The liver itself doesn't have many nerve endings. So when you guys are polluting yourself and overindulging in alcohol, you won't know how, your liver won't say, hey, I'm dying. Your doctor will tell you, hey, you're going to be dead soon.
In that case, I'm going to live forever.
You don't drink? Yeah, you're not a drinker. I never asked Glenstrom to run for president. Thank you. I simply said if he wants to run for vice president, he needs to send an email with his name. And Glenn never did. I never offered the position to one person. It was offered to anybody who wanted to send their name and full name to my email address. Anyone would be considered at that point. That was 2012, and he passed up that opportunity. Of course not. I left the Democratic Party because of Obama. And I created an alternative character named Broke, a broke insane Obamas, who I felt was much more presidential than Barack Obama. I felt that broke insane Obamas would have been a much better president. But many of you thought that video was done in poor taste. I argue that was the only way I could freely impersonate the worst president that we've ever had. And now that you Democrats are finally realizing you screwed up, thank you for coming in and talking to me. I am a person who is more than willing to go out on a limb to fight for the American freedom we know as freedom of speech. No, I actually welcome all criticism. That's what makes me so amazing. I absorb your negative karma and turn out a positive kernel of truth for every 1,000 kernels of negative hate that I get. I find the silver lining in every single chemtrail cloud, distill it out and say, wow, yeah, I could make like $3 on that silver. But no, yeah, I'm able to absorb a tremendous amount of heat that most people can't even imagine. Donald Trump doesn't even receive half the garbage that I get. And he buckles. He completely collapses under the pressure. He calls Megyn Kelly a woman bleeding from her eyes. You read 100 words a minute, I see that. Somebody made a great commercial, really? Well, let me see. I haven't seen a great commercial in a long time. I haven't stopped all carbs. I have considered cutting back, but I've got wheat belly. I'm suffering from wheat belly. It's the desire to eat 600 extra calories a day at the end of the day. And it's caused by some sort of an opiate in the GMO wheat kernel. Thank you, very classy. Appreciate it. I do vape on occasion, yeah. We've got some of the best marijuana in the country up here in Washington. So how could I not? Kicking back, watching a movie, turn on the vaporizer or whatever you have. No, wheat belly. They found that the GMO wheat that our country is producing now, in a lot of the wheat that we're eating, is actually... No, I don't support Obama. I wouldn't even watch his fake speech tonight, the State of the Union joke. But wheat belly is a result of... they found that people who eat a lot of wheat have like a heroin effect on their brain. It's an opiate. You know what I'm talking about. I mean, you've stuffed a bowl of cereal in your mouth. You know what I'm talking about, right? And you get that feeling of
just a box or two of cereal.
You've gone through a box or two of cereal, and you get that feeling of contentment. You just sit back and go, I'm a couch potato. Well, that's affecting a lot of Americans. That's why we truly have a weight problem to deal with in this country. I'm serious. It's an epidemic weight problem. Yeah. That's the truth. I hate to say it, but I mean, we're all fighting that personally. I've been dealing with a weight problem since I was a kid. I used to be thin, and my mother said, hey, you need to, get something on your bones. And so she started having me drink cream. Here's a big glass of cream, son. It will be a book soon. Yeah, I'm in the process of writing it. Everyone shill. Okay, everybody, let's do the shill. 1, 2, 3. Do the shill. Do the shill. Yeah, I'm not a shill, man. I wouldn't be doing videos like Broken St. Obama's if I was a shill. I'd have a minute of airtime in the mainstream media. You can't call me a shill. Jason, I'm all about me. David, what do you not understand about that? All right, well, Carl, having you on the phone is like having, a really nice friend to talk to. Thank you so much. Any other things going on in your life? You and Molly pretty happy?
Yeah, I see that every so often.
Okay.
Because I work at night.
Oh, yeah?
That's all. Yeah.
In this coming election, please vote for David.
So this ecological tariff will bring back good, clean environments for China, as well as America.
Hi, Miss Sarah.
Yeah, that's great. We were hoping that we could get some exercise here. So the important thing is to get some exercise, get up out of that ground wherever you're sitting. If you win Powerball, oh my gosh, Powerball's tomorrow night. Giraffe brain.
I better go buy a ticket.
Yeah.
I got one already.
Yeah, I got a ticket just for the heck of it.
Yeah, same here. If you don't play, you don't win.
Yeah,
right?
you can't win if you don't play.
Yeah, you don't win if you don't play. So yeah, we have the 15% ecological tariff is a big plan that we came up with ahead of Donald Trump, and it will really put China in the right trading relationship with us. They'll have a pathway out of the 30% tariff idea that he's talking about.
You know what I really should do? Is these exercises.
Wow. You guys don't dance with women? You're dying of gades? What is gades? So you guys don't dance? No wonder you can't find a woman out there. Yeah. Dancing is the best way to meet women.
I don't know. I mean, having a nice little charm is a good way, too.
Well, yeah. Well, having having the kind of charisma that you have, the thing about you, You believe in yourself. Awesome, Carl. That's what makes you so appealing to women. They like your confidence. Yeah.
The problem is some don't get. I tell them I'm married and they still try to come after me.
Chet Kelly, you're here. Hey, Chet, we've heard about you. What's the big deal with Chet? What's his deal? He's got his own show or something?
He's a cool dude.
Oh, okay. Well, believe me, I've never been in a speech situation.
Aw, guess who came to see us?
I can tell you that I've never read off a teleprompter. I have no idea what Obama the puppet is capable of doing. We got a kitty cat in here. Yeah, if I were given a teleprompter, I'm sure I could pull off exactly what he's doing. Well, make no mistake about it. We're going to make sure that after I started the entire immigration problem, we're going to take care of it.
Where are you leaving?
We're going to give everybody a chance to... I mean, the whole thing about Syrian refugees coming in, these are rapists, okay? Obama wants to bring in rapists. He wants to turn our country upside down. You call that a good leader?
Hello?
No, I'm against it, and frankly, I was against the refugee thing at the very beginning, and then, again, Trump took that idea too, and I said no refugees. He starts talking about Muslims. I'm not specifically talking about Muslims. I don't have a litmus test for who is a refugee, what their religious background should be.
Well, it's interesting. There's two things I wanted to talk to you, David, about.
No, I'm talking about the threat of rapists, yes.
I learned two things
Go ahead.
today that you might like. One, Explorer 1, which was the very first U.S. satellite in space, learned about the Van Allen belts.
Oh, okay.
1958.
Yeah, they started the Van Allen belts. Explorer 1 did, yeah. That's when they realized...
I talked about that today.
Oh, you did? Wow. No, that's actually something Sarah got on her own. That's a lovely pearl necklace, yeah.
Two, the other thing... Well, I should have brought up the other thing because it relates to immigration. I was talking about the, Ellis Island today.
Yeah.
And also Angel Island. Angel Island, for those of you that don't know, was in San Francisco.
Mm-hmm.
Ellis Island was in New York. And both of them existed as a temporary housing facility for immigrants.
Oh, okay.
And they were kind of like prisons in a way.
Yeah.
Because, all of the immigrants that came in during those times had to go through a screening process.
Oh,
before
really?
they were actually allowed in the mainland.
Wow. Okay, so that Angel Island, Ellis Island, we can do that.
1930s.
We can do that.
Yeah. I mean, all of the people that wanted to come in, including young children,
right,
were housed in those facilities.
That's interesting. Well,
and there was guards, and
that's what it's supposed to be done, right?
Because they didn't want them into the country.
Yeah.
Because they didn't trust all of the immigrants.
No,
anyway.
No, it's good that we it's a good thing that we brought them in and then sorted them out and then made sure that they went home when we didn't want them. Okay, here's the trade deficit with China, and as you can see from 2009, it hasn't changed much. We are dealing with a tremendous trade imbalance with a country that is now polluting the world at a rapid pace, and we aren't solving that problem. Trump doesn't have a solution like we do with our ecological tariff. So it's a big difference between us and Trump on the way we treat the environment. Trump reminds me a little bit of Ronald Reagan in how he treated the environment. He didn't care about the environment. And it's led to a ravaging of our nation.
Typing.com.
And it really is screwing up. So we have to get focused on what needs to be done and also encourage trade with trading partners like China. Now, we have a big question about aliens tonight. Some of you are wondering if aliens exist. I do support the Full Disclosure Project, where if I do meet an alien, personally, I will disclose it. I don't mean an illegal alien. I mean real alien encounter, like this kind of encounter.
Doesn't the Full Disclosure Project also talk about disclosing any other UFO sightings that have been classified in the past?
Not that I know of. If it does, and I can crack open the archives that the CIA's locked up, sure, yeah. Whatever we can find out about Roswell, we will talk about that. Yeah, sure. But the fact is, I really need to meet an alien if I'm going to believe in him. Now, have you guys met an alien? I haven't.
That you know of.
Who's this person you're referring to? Yeah, who's this person named Rodney you're referring to? I've known many Rodneys in my life. Which one? It was disturbing. You saw an alien probing of a 40-year-old white man? Where did you see this? Was this some sort of an alien porn that you were watching or something? I noticed there is no porn genre, not that I've been looking, called alien porn. You notice that, guys? Not that you've been looking.
Not that you've been looking.
You're stroking your hair now? As long as it's your hair up here, that's great. Dr. Robertson, how are you? Cash in, David. Cash in on what? There's no money here. We're not into money. We just talk about politics every night and people like it. And I'm just an average American who happens to have an incredibly high IQ.
There's my girls.
Sarah's even more above average because she doesn't even know her IQ. And it's probably above mine and I don't even know that.
I'm too smart to pay Mensa to tell me I'm smart. Instead, I let them give me scholarship money.
That would be good. You did get a scholarship from Mensa. It's kind of cool.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. That was a nice little, feeling of accomplishment to get a Mensa scholarship. Oh, Carl, we have to interrupt this long chat.
David, I sent you guys a link that I wanted to show you. I just didn't want to share it in public chat.
Okay, thank you for sending it to me. Hold on a second.
Call from.
That person's been calling. He's stalking our show. Okay, back to Carl. Thank you for sending me a link. Where did you send it? In my regular Vaughn chat room?
On your instant, yeah.
Oh, my IM thing, yeah.
Message, yeah.
By the way, this doesn't work anymore.
Oh.
See, when I move it over here, it's over here. So I think this should be that monitor for that one, for a second monitor.
Oh, okay.
And put it up. I'll put it over there. And this one, I think I can bring on the 19-inch and have the two 19-inches here.
Okay.
I'm thinking. All right. We're just talking about our monitor setup now that we have a new computer. All right, let's take this one more time.
Call from. To add this caller to your...
No, we're not taking calls from that person doesn't. It could be.
You gotta say your name.
Yeah, you gotta say your
You
name.
can't just be playing a video of David in the background.
Where's the IM thing on this?
Say your name. Say your name.
How come I don't have an IM thing anymore? What's going on with the? Oh, there it is.
You just click on your name.
I see that way up at the top. Yeah. Okay, I've got a link. Okay. See, Carl's really proactive here. You see how proactive he is?
You're right. Yes, I do.
I'm not going to take that call, man. It's not a real
Something
good.
about
Yeah,
vehicles.
had all vehicles removed from the area. This is just a test of the American third-party network. This is only a test.
Yeah.
Okay. And I've also defaulting on the terrible thing is I'm defaulting every time. I'm still on Yahoo over here.
Oh, I forgot to do that. I
Yeah.
can do that.
Okay. Wow, is that you, Carl?
Call from.
Is that you, Carl?
In the polar plunge. Yes, I think it is.
Is that you, Carl? Carl? We lost Carl.
Yeah.
Oh, that is you?
It is.
Oh, that's wonderful.
I'm part of the Western New York Superhero
I don't
Alliance.
think he wants to
and that's
show
my
others.
character.
That's cool. Congratulations. I'm really glad for you.
Planet.
Shoe on head. What is that? Some sort of is that a word?
Shoo, don't follow me.
Shoe on head.
Shoo, don't bother me.
Go see Cal, go see Cal, go see Cal. If you want a shoe on your head, go see Cal. If you want a shoe on your head, go see Cal. If you want a shoe on your head. Yeah, I loved it too, yeah. What are you saying in Arabic? Could you write that in English, please? Because we don't accept Arabic languages here. Oh, it's a 4chan person. He's probably saying... He's accusing me of being a racist in Arabic. No, it's not a new hairdo. This is an old standby. I used to use this back in the day.
I do have some pretty nice shoes, but I'm not putting them on my head.
No, I didn't call Muslims.
Oh, I get it. You're all about the boot guy?
I'm only calling the refugees rapists.
I know. Duct tape, it finally hit me. Dawned on me.
Well, new taxes on international trade to compensate for a national sales tax is no different than our 15% ecological tariff DRT snare.
You just have to pay for the legal fees, Drag King.
International trade is what we're referring to about the 15% ecological tariff. That's why it's on the screen so you can read it. Oh, you're saying David is greatest and death to 4chan. Okay, interesting. Go see Cal, go see Cal, go see Cal. If you want a new car...
I don't think anyone...
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't think anyone who's not a U.S. citizen should own any property. We should be like other countries, you know?
Yeah, I agree.
Why are we selling China our land?
We shouldn't. Okay, Bag End Audio says, David, will you please answer my question? How will you get the states to drop their property taxes on townhomes? Well, I'm going to suggest that everybody who has a townhome or a house claims it's your religious home of prayer, and that's where you do your praying. And it's a violation of the First Amendment, your freedom of speech, to tax a place of worship. Okay? Just claim your home is your church. You can, in fact, you can cite Matthew 6:6, where he says to go pray in the closet. For those of you who are in the closet, you probably have to pray a lot longer. But seriously, use your house as a religious reason to not pay property taxes. Try that loop. I'll back you if I'm president. Okay? Thank you. Dr. Robertson, no, it's not disingenuous at all. I'm telling you the truth. This is the way to do it. You can be gay and still be in the closet, or pray in the closet. Doesn't even matter. I'm not talking about gayness. God, I mean, what is with these 4chan people?
Why do you respond? Don't respond.
I don't, actually.
I know.
I've only responded twice tonight about the gay issue.
Good job.
I was doing pretty well up until just a second ago.
I know. Great job. I appreciate that you're not responding.
Yeah, I didn't respond. Yeah, I hate that. Yeah. Okay, great.
And people are going to say those kinds of things, but, you know, good job not responding.
Well, I'm glad everyone likes my hair, because it didn't cost anything. It was free. Actually, it cost me $3.59. I bought a new conditioner at Sally's.
Oh, good.
I went to Sally's today.
Oh, good.
Sally's Beauty Supply. Yeah, hey, cool shades, man. What's going on?
Did you need to take a break, or do you need to eat?
I'm gonna go ahead and eat. You know, I'm just gonna stuff my face with wheat. I'll be right back.
I'm gonna just turn off the phone.
Dr. Robertson. Okay. Hey, Carl, she's gonna sign off here.
Good night.
Peace out. Thanks a lot for calling, Carl. Take care. All right. Sarah's gonna get to know you folks.
Dirt snare. That's not gonna happen. So let's move on. Did anybody else watch? Did anybody watch the State of the Union in here, or they're all coming in to watch my show and not the State of the Union? I know. Yeah, me either. I use my shampoos vary. My sister got me some Queen of Hungary, and I use that every other shampoo. She made it for me, and then I also use Infusium 23 conditioner. And then I got this nice little wave going on because I braided my hair when it was kind of wet. And then let it dry like that, and that's it. No thanks, 5085. What? I'm gonna start by purging you. Then we'll go on to muting you. And then we can go on to banning you. Wow. No? You guys have such awful questions. No, those are chocolate scars. Chocolate acne. Okay. Wow. I think you should GTFO. That's what I think. Good. It was good. It was quick. That's good. I'm glad to hear that. Well, Dr. Robertson, that's David's point of view, so you're going to have to take that up with him. I'm not personally in favor of that. My paycheck roundabout comes from property taxes, so I'm not in favor of getting rid of property taxes. That's just how it is. Okay. No, it won't be broadcasted. Wait, I will say this, Trekker. I won't pull one, but David has talked about putting a camera under the desk of the Oval Office so you can always be looking at his legs. No, I've never read that 6758. Wow, you guys have such weird questions. Well, then you're going to have to go to an adult website, Drag King. You're not going to see anything here. Wow. I think this is so not worth even talking to you, so I'm just going to ignore you and let you continue to Oh, okay. Well, then you're saying you want a female in charge. Okay, I got what you're saying. I think I'm going to ignore you all for a moment and just go on and see what's going on in the news. I know, Dr. Robertson, it's awful. You wonder why men travel in groups and are awful to women in person. That's because they're already awful to them online. Well, you're watching a video, put the letter X in front of that, 895. The past, the future, ISIS and Trumpism dominate Obama's last State of the Union. Okay. Iran holds 10 U.S. soldiers, but pledges to release them soon. Yeah, you're welcome. The boats were en route from Kuwait to Bahrain when they disappeared from the Navy's scopes. Yeah. Well, we're allies with certain people, I'll say that, Pinochet. The Republican Party tapped Governor Nikki Haley to deliver its response to Obama's State of the Union. But her most memorable jabs were against Trump. Thank you for letting me know that you graduated top of your class in the Navy SEALs. Very good. Fantastic. All right, good night, Carl. Wow, Golden Bear. That must be fun. Or not. You guys are really, hard up to, just glob onto any female broadcaster and just, start asking her to talk about nasty things. Evil. And $300 million just isn't worth the trouble of buying a ticket. Man. Wow. Vice President Biden will head a pursuit of cancer cure. Oh. Suggested for me, blah, blah, blah. Oils slide below $30 since shockwaves far and wide. Oil stumbled below $30 for the first time in 12 years. So that might, U.S. shale firms might not be making that much money with this. Yeah, they probably are. 895. Yeah, 597. They probably would. It's so sad. What do you mean by a whale? You think I'm like overweight? 949? I always wondered if like maybe I am really overweight and I just like imagine that I'm not. You sleep next to Chet's bed. He uses you as a heater. No, Dragging, I did not read all of the literature that you sent me. I don't know. Did you send me more? That sounds good, Strato Telecaster, but I don't think so. No, I'm not buying extra large shirts. No. Usually medium. Sometimes large. What's my viewpoint on military cuts? Well, I live in a military town, so I kind of support the military, especially the boots on the ground, but I would like to stop purchasing so many weapons that we then send overseas and end up in the hands of our enemies. So do pay soldiers, don't pay for weapons. That's how I am. Well, I would say in a way, I think that we have plenty of weapons to give our soldiers. But you know, I'm talking about like the big new machinery is also pretty expensive. Thank you, 89522. No, Mad Dog, I did not get a flashlight. So, sorry. I don't know what happened. I was looking. Mail? I know. Do you get a tracking number on it? Yes, I agree with O.V. Ruenthal. We don't need to pay Northrop Grumman a 900% profit margin. Yes, I do support the Navy SEALs. I like them. They look like your aunts. Am I your aunts? I don't know who you are, so I can't tell you if I'm your aunt or not. I sure hope not, Strato Telecaster. I know it has that turmeric in it, so that's supposed to be good, but I don't think that. Do I support regular seals? Yes, we should save the oceans and help our seals. Seals are cute. Okay. What, Mad Dog? No. Wow. Why should I do that? What did he... Why was he... Okay, I guess I suppose I could. If I were back in time and had this chance to stop Nazi Germany, would I? Yes. But of course, then you could say, some people would say that we did by allowing Pearl Harbor to happen, allowed us to get into the battle, which did help stop Nazi Germany from spreading. Nope, not gonna happen. 7658. Go make up another name. Just make your name Donald T. Oh. Apparently, Oh, goodness. What would I don't hate baby seals. I like all seals.
Yeah, especially baby ones. Oh, boy. I can't understand this this new dialogue that has been going on years of trolling. People have developed a new way of communicating. It's called attack. Constantly attack everybody around you. And I don't think that's a good way to communicate. Let me ask the trolls in the room. Are you successful meeting people online this way? By calling them names? Is that working out for you? How's your social life? That's working out for you. How's the shoe on head thing? Some of you you're like right out of Pokemon into shoe on head. So you went from Pokemon to shoe on head. That's pretty funny. You have 73 singles in your area. What does that mean? You're like, are you like a pimp? Are you an online pimp? What do you mean you have 73 singles in your area? Oh, really? Oh, wow. We got an online pimp here. Wow, let's focus on that. Well, you're lucky I'm not law enforcement. Yeah. Otherwise, your ass would be in the slammer, buddy. Yeah, that's called prostitution rings. Thanks, Boxy, babe. No, we just have a little...
Flint has a drinking water crisis.
Yeah, I heard it is kind of a weird situation out in Flint.
Michigan.
I've been concerned that not only they have that, but a Muslim crisis of growing proportion.
I do agree with that statement, Romanthal.
No, I do not support for-profit prisons at all. But I can definitely see, decriminalizing prostitution up to a point. You pimps, I take it back. I apologize to all the pimps I just offended. Yeah.
Lead.
Wouldn't want you to feel in any way alienated. You're welcome. No, everything's good. The fact of the matter is, out there in St. Louis, we got a nuclear reactor dump that is getting within 1,000 feet of a fire, underground fire is getting near this nuclear reactor dump. That's happening. The flooding that happened in the Missouri River may have affected some of the radiation. That's the truth.
In Michigan, in Flint, Michigan, they had a water source that was switched over, and the water was not properly treated for corrosion, and it led to elevated lead levels in children.
Wow. See, there you have it. Elevated lead levels.
In Michigan is activated the National Guard to help distribute bottled water and filters to residents.
Oh man, that's serious. Gosh.
I don't know if they can they filter out the lead? I guess so.
Yeah, we can. We have the technology. We can clean the water. All of you can have point-of-use filtration systems, courtesy of Uncle Sam. Wouldn't that be great? You all have a reverse osmosis system installed in your house, courtesy of Uncle Sam. What do you like that idea? Everybody like that? That would be good. It'd be good. I want to drink clean water. I do. I'm tired of the fluoride. Yeah, I know a lot of you are getting a little bit dumbed down, stupefied. I want to help. Yeah. You like that? Well, we're having one sexy Tuesday, I'll tell you that. It's Truth Tuesday, but to be truthful and honest, this is the most sexy Truth Tuesday I've ever experienced in our show. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for coming. Thank you all for coming. All right. No, just because you think that the man from Glad is a pervert does not make me look like a pervert. No. The new Joker? No, I'm not the Joker. I'm actually the joke. Yeah, you didn't get that by now? Yeah, they say I'm the funniest guy alive because everyone who sees me starts laughing. Uncontrollably. Excuse me. That was an A+ performance, by the way.
Yay!
Thank you.
Sorry.
Award-winning smile, too. She has the glow, really.
This is kind of cool. They have different parts of the country.
Yeah, what's that?
This one author, he thinks that the United States can be divided into 11 separate regions based on their voting area,
Wow.
based on how people
Vote
settled
demographically.
it
Yeah.
in the past. So, like, up in the dark blue, Canada and the U.S., so they have the Midlands, the Greater Appalachia, Tidewater, the Far West, includes Anchorage and Fairbanks, Alaska.
You know, I'm not that far away from his understanding there. I mean, the Far West is kind of a place unto themselves, you know. They've got the wide open plains. Mm-hmm. They think differently. The guys out there in Burn, Oregon are fighting for their right to control the grazing properties that they use against the BLM, Bureau of Land Management. You know, I showed a map earlier in the show of the U.S. government-owned land that is quite opposite. Most of this area right here in the center, the white area,
yeah,
most of that is owned by the federal government. I mean, a large chunk of it, most of the federal property is owned in that area. Well, everything's working out just great. I'm glad all of you people started tuning into a third party, because we're about the only thing standing between you and being tarred and feathered. Seriously.
Yep.
The government, the police state that has emerged has awakened a lot of people to the possibility that there's some real weird things going on in our government. And the best way to solve that is by building a third party. Ergo, America's Third Party. Yeah, I just want to give you guys a heads up as to what we are doing. You know, we can't just sit there and have no representative in American government. You can imagine how screwed up that would be. Well, that's where we're at right now. Hey there, Scissor Fight. Welcome. You know, Scissor Fight was probably out having fun tonight, with his wife, going, I don't really need to hurry back to the show. It's okay. It's Dave's show. But
everybody likes Scissor Fight.
I had an imaginary thought that maybe you were there talking about that. Okay, so we've got a little breakdown of the American landscape here. The Greater Appalachia, the part I have a hard time with. Oh, sorry. I don't mean to monopolize the show, Sarah, but
that's okay.
I'm taking over.
Obviously.
Oh, not at all. Everyone wants to talk to you. Let me get back here. This is the area I'm having a problem with, right here.
Oh, they're so rude.
No, yeah, they are.
It's not worth it.
Well, it is worth it. I have a great time on the show.
Well, that's good. I'm glad you do.
Oh, I'm like looking into the void. It's fantastic. It's like we're staring into the ether of creativity lost in America right now. Wherever you are in this great nation of ours, if you aren't realizing by now that the two parties are owned and operated by huge corporate oligarchies, you've come to the right place.
I think I want to move to the Tidewater.
Let's talk about that. That's right on the coast. Because this is nice. This is the Tidewater area. This is the area of the country that's kind of cool. Greater Appalachia is nice. You know, I like Virginia. Some of you are in Virginia. I love the Tennessee region. We talked to a guy from Tennessee tonight. It's their personality is just real. You know, how you doing, man? Real friendly. You know, I don't get that from those stuffy people in New York or out in Los Angeles where everybody's so cool. Excuse me, but I'm too cool to talk to you. I'm on my iPhone.
Yeah.
You know, that type of mentality. And I kind of like the fact that, you know, we need kind of a more positive American attitude toward each other. You're the fourth channel that's come in here. Wow. I love the attention, though. A lot of you don't realize that this plan of action to bypass the censorship we've had from the mainstream media was put in place in 2008 when I realized that we were being censored. So thank you for participating in this process of breaking through the iron curtain of the media. It's taking a long time. Fluoride I will take out of our water system. I'm going to remove it from our public water system, and I will make sure that all of you will have an opportunity to send in a test of your water. Or at least get into a program where we're going to send test kits out to random people to test the water for them And if we find that your water is being fluoridated still, we'll send a guy out there and pursue a case against Department of Water and Power in your area. We'll make sure it stops fluoridating it. I was on a lot of state ballots, or one state ballot in 2014, Dr. Robertson. Yeah. My state of Washington, I might not enter the state race for the presidency. I'm thinking about the governorship here. Possible. We might actually get into the governor's race and go after Jay Inslee, because he's a really weak Democrat, and he supports cap and trade, and I don't. And do you think Renee Zellweger is the real Renee Zellweger? I want to talk about that tonight. Do you believe that her face change is real, or do you really believe that she's been replaced? That's a tough question. Thank you for that question. Yeah, well, Raman Avenger says his grandfather says fluoride causes communism. I wouldn't doubt it. It dulls your brain. It makes you dumb. We know for a fact that the Harvard Medical Review in 2012 said that fluoride completely eliminates your sex drive. Yeah. You're wondering why you're no longer that into it, right? No, they actually found out that you lower your IQ as well, 20%. Okay. Let me go private here for a second, just for a second. Well, that was a cool little side talk, wasn't it? No lip reading there. Yeah, I actually said something and you didn't hear a damn thing. That little moment of privacy. How does your bleep bleep? Okay, well, I think we could probably turn guest chat off for a while. Why don't you guys go back in your pen and we'll get a real conversation going here. Thank you. Hey, I'll take the show from here. You've been awesome, as usual, and I love your hair. I picked up this cool conditioner today. I was at Sally's beauty supply in my area, and I was checking out their rack, and I saw their rack. I saw a subliminal message. I saw this amazing conditioner, big bottle, this big,
wow,
for $3.69. So I bought it.
That's cool.
And I said to the lady, I mean, my hair is so old, I need some help. And she immediately looked down because I think she recognized that she too is getting older. The reality is clicking in. Well, yes, age is clicking in. So, I went on my merry way.
You pointed it out to an older lady and she bought it?
No, it was the only one. Yeah. I only shop in the clearance section at any store. I don't bother shopping anywhere else because otherwise you're going to get ripped off. You know? Mm-hmm. Turn on slow mode?
I already did.
Okay.
So he said you did, but I did.
We did. We turned on slow mode. Tomorrow is Wasteful Wednesday, where we talk about the waste that a lot of people are experiencing in their daily life, from the air pollution all the way to the wasteful spending that's going on in our country and in your pocketbook. We talk about ways of saving money, cheap solutions to getting around this terrible cost of living increase. Everyone's feeling it. Yeah. You had a good dump today, so that we'll talk about some of your waste. We'll talk about, tonight we're even going to talk about how sustainable living is a big thing for a lot of people. Hey, thank you, Mad Dog.
Dr. Robertson wants to ask you this question.
Sure.
So before you leave.
No, I haven't left. I got this suit for $5. That's how I save money.
That's a nice suit. Looks good on you.
Somebody said it probably came off a corpse, but I don't know.
Well, not actually on the corpse when the corpse died, but it probably did come from a guy who passed away. Or maybe he just gained weight, the guy who had it before.
Well, I'm feeling...
Because you look really good in it.
Well, I'm feeling, it's like a fighter's jacket, because it's like really I can throw a good counter punch, My jab works.
Yeah.
People don't realize I'm a fully trained martial artist.
No,
I just don't have any ranking,
great.
I don't really get into cage fighting, so. Yeah. Dave, the weather forecast. Well, in the upper area, people are getting cold to the point where they're going, well, I don't know how much lobster we could eat this month, but we're running out of... And then in this area, people are going, oh my God, I got to move to Arizona.
All right.
And in this area, I'll talk about it. Thank you, Sarah. That was great. Yay! Thank you. Sarah, thank you for coming in. You're not religious like I'm not religious? Yeah, there you go. We can hang, but not really. Let's not hang together, though. Thank you. Senate shoots down the audit the Fed proposal. Oh, no kidding. Really? Those cronies in the Senate, they don't want to audit the Fed. They know full well that that's where their bread is buttered. Yeah, we didn't think we'd be able to end the Fed real easy. It's going to take a lot of convincing and a lot of straightforward attack. You know, Obama is such a pussy for a president. He never confronts the Fed. And Donald Trump doesn't confront it either, because that's how most of his money is acquired, through loans from the Fed. So obviously ending the Fed is the key to our future. I really believe that we've got to, do something. Obviously. If we just sit back and watch it, get worse and worse with the central bank controlling all our finances and borrowing more and more money every year just to finance the running of the government, we will absolutely be out of money completely, and you are going to pay the price, you the consumer, because your money is getting diluted every time they print up money. And we also think bringing our troops home and ending war would be a key too. Obviously, that's the solution that we're talking about. A proposal to audit the Federal Reserve failed to pass the U.S. Senate. The bill proposed by Kentucky Republican Rand Paul was opposed by the Democrats. Not only is Rand Paul not going to be in the upcoming Republican debate, but it looks like his ideas are being shunned left and right. No, Obama's the pussy. I'm the guy to clean up the mess. Turn slow mode off? What are you kidding? What are you kidding? I'll tell you, if I turn slow mode off, take my wife for example. Sarah and I are not married, by the way. We're partners. In the state of Washington, you can be partners. We're partners in business. Is the local librarian job open? I didn't know if it was an elected position. What are you, gay? Dude, I'm not gay. I don't know where you're getting that, man. I am so attracted to women, and it's almost difficult to hold it back. I don't know if you're aware of that. Yeah. You guys have really, you've gone deep into the doo-doo to try to pull that one up. Yeah, you're the ones that voted for Barack Obama saying he was not gay. Oh, yeah. Your gaydar is so messed up, it's unbelievable. I don't know. They keep talking about gayness on our show. I think it's, I know, it's the 4chan group. They had this query in their little chat dialogue to come in and talk about gayness. Well, we do know for a fact that Barack Obama's gay lovers, Donald Young, we talked about this last night. You know that. I have to keep mentioning this because we are in the after show. Here you go. There you go. Let's take a look. We are going to look now at why you voted for the biggest homosexual president in U.S. history. And you're calling me gay? I mean, you guys voted for this guy. And guess what? Donald Young was his boyfriend. Donald Young was he studied to be a principal. He had a master's degree in education, and he was found dead. You heard me, dead. In 2007 from an unknown gun attack. Now this is not cool. Right before he was on the phone with another gay guy, Larry Sinclair, who actually openly talked about having sex with Barack Obama in a limousine. You haven't heard this? Is this new to you? You haven't heard the Larry Sinclair speech from his time? Yeah, well, let me show it to you. Yeah, Larry Sinclair on cue. 1, 2, 3.
Where Senator Obama exited the limousine with $250, which was provided to him by me. returned a short while later with an 8-ball of cocaine, which he gave to me. I did ingest a couple of lines of cocaine, and shortly thereafter, Senator Obama produced a glass cylinder pipe and packet of crack cocaine from his pocket. Obama then smoked the crack cocaine. I performed fellatio on Senator Obama in the limousine during the time Senator Obama was smoking crack cocaine, after which I had the driver take me to my hotel, the Comfort Suites, Gurnee, Illinois.
Nope. In fact, Larry Sinclair actually took a lie detector test, and it passed with 99% positive that he was telling the truth. The 1% that questions anything is a standard deviation. It is a standard variable of error in any test, like a lie detector test. It's not a proven hoax. He passed with 99% that he's telling the truth. So your gay homosexual president has taken you down the road of bad gaydar. So bad that you're looking at a known heterosexual, me, and claiming I'm some sort of a homosexual. Isn't that amazing? See, I'm trying to tune your gaydar in, guys, because I'm like a physical stallion of a man who loves women. And it's really difficult for a heterosexual man to listen to this crap coming out of your face. So I'm going to bring more pictures of Barack Obama and his homosexual past, just to give you guys a little something to take home with you tonight. Alright? Well, I'm glad we could talk about it. There is some pretty undeniable truth. The fact is, you've been lied to. Our president, who just spoke out in this big, huge lie, puppet lie, that he was simply told to read off a teleprompter, he didn't write that. He didn't write the speech tonight. No, that was written for him. Okay, that's just a little too inflammatory. I would love to do that, but yeah, a little bit too inflammatory. I've got that link coming from a scissor fight. 2 U.S. Navy boats. We are talking about the 10 soldiers that are being held in Iran. The 10 American soldiers held by Iran today were on 2 U.S. Navy boats. We will take a look here and review the information at NBC News. Let's go to Tom Brokaw at our ABC affiliate in New York. Tom? This is Tom Brokaw for NBC Nightly News. Pentagon, 2 U.S. Navy boats. Let me just read it straight up. Iranian military forces seized 2 U.S. Navy boats Tuesday and are detaining them on Iran's Farsi Island. The 10 American sailors aboard the small riverine vessel were on a training mission around noon when one of the boats may have experienced mechanical failure and drifted into Iranian claimed waters. The Coast Guard took them into custody. The officials said it's unclear whether soldiers, 9 men and 1 woman, had strayed into Iranian territorial waters before they were captured. Yeah, I mean, I really believe this is provocative on part of Iran, and most likely just a diversion to cover up their bomb-making strategy that's going on every day. And thanks to Barack Obama, the inane, incompetent president we have, we've got an amazing situation. In less than 300 days, folks, Iran will have the ability to have a nuclear weapon and threaten the entire world. Aren't you excited? Isn't that great? And you voted for him. The gay homosexual Muslim that he is. Yeah. Go for it. So your gaydar is so screwed up. You are the problem in America, folks. You're the reason why we've got a problem negotiating peace around the world. You're the ones that got Obama to the forefront of this nation's election process, and you're the ones that keep him there. And you never questioned his homosexual past. You never questioned his Muslim affiliates or the fact that 6 nations now are at a civil crisis because of Obama, pushing for Muslim jihads around the world. You don't even want to take responsibility for that, do you? I want to thank all of you 4chan people for coming in, because you are the problem. Either that or we got 3 hackers with 17 browsers open on each hack. So, I mean, I have no idea who you are, really. All right. Yeah, you're the reason. So when you wake up in the morning and wonder why you don't have a job and you're reaching into your mom's purse to grab a 20 so you can like sneak a little crystal meth on the side, think that grandpa doesn't understand what you're dealing with, yeah, you're the guy who made that happen. Celibate trolls, I know. I have to make them sure that they understand what they allowed into their life. Yeah, and now it's your turn to correct your gaydar. All right, so I'm going to zoom you in right now. Okay, this is going to take a little bit of a realignment process. Here we go. I'm going to try to align your gaydar because you're the reason why we've got Tinky Winky in the White House right now. Oh, I'm going to get you in there. Believe me, this is a wake-up call. If you are in the state of New Jersey or in California, I'm going to ask you to turn your monitor off. Yeah, I don't want to violate any laws correcting your gaydar, okay? This is Tinky Winky, all right? This is me. Do I look or resemble Tinky Winky? Do I? All right, just run that through your little gaydar. Meanwhile, while you're thinking about that, I'm going to confuse you with the attack of the Hillary creature from the unknown universe behind us. Okay, hold on. There we go. Now you're under siege, and you're saying to yourself, I can't handle this. This David guy's screwing with my brain. Yeah, it's just not right. Something's wrong. We've got more Clinton Zoomers everywhere. They're coming at us. You're inundated by this thought that somehow you're going to vote for Hillary and maybe everything will work out just like it's working out with Barack Obama. Oh yeah. Everything is beautiful in its own special democratic way. Yeah, now you're buying the lie that everything's fine. You can be a transgender. You can live at home with your mom and do crystal meth from her $20 bills that you're taking out of her purse. Life is good. Yeah. Now we take you to the White House. And the harsh reality that Tinky Winky, who is currently our president, is unable to make any solid decisions on his own. He has speechwriters writing all of his speeches to do damage control for the worst immigration policy in history. We've got a country that's separating into various political classes, different types of people gathering in different enclaves. And that raises the question, who do you want in the White House? Yeah. It's getting to that point where you're a little unsure what you're going to do. You're like, oh, I like you, I like me, I like each other, we all like each other, oh, everyone likes each other, oh yeah, we're so cool, I'm so cool, everyone's so cool. But you're not cool. In fact, you're being led down the pathway of being a sheeple. You need to defy that. You need to get your head out of your proverbial ass and start realizing if you want a future, you're going to have to get some sort of a trade. You're going to have to spring out of that mold you're in and be a man and do something. Don't just sit there. Do something. That's right. So I'm going to open your mind to the possibility that, I still have an ecological tariff to talk about. Yeah, I know. That we are being completely run by a corporate elite group that have divided us into two categories, the Republicans and Democrats. Yet we, the American people, don't get any representation at all. They are manipulating us. They are simply turning us into fodder for their wars, leading us along like they're ever going to give us anything. They're not going to give us squat. Hey man, I'm talking about the human evolution going on here. I'm talking about this endless loop of poverty and consumerism and degradation and obscenities being destroying demoralizing your personal faith in yourself, man. Yes, you've lost your way. So I bring you to the trippiest point of all. A new place to wake up and realize that we all can live in peace on this earth We don't need to engage in this disastrous corruption, death to the entire earth. We need to save the earth. It's really in need of people who can think at this point, people who can articulate a way out. So that's why I came up with a third party. That's the concept, to get the American people some representation. Otherwise, we're not going to do that thing we call helping each other. Otherwise, we're screwed. We are, as a nation, will be screwed if we don't start standing up for ourselves and building a political alliance that can challenge this corporate elite group of people. You think they care about us? We are just simply to be used. And when we're done being used, we will be executed and deported or literally extinguished. To us, or to them, we are like urchins. To them, we are like just urchins, the people that want to run the world. So what I'm asking you to do is talk to your friends and family about a third party. Reach out and do something different, because right now we've got a lot of people going after this ridiculous notion that Obama is helping them when he hasn't done anything for them at all. We've got a lot of people who are completely hook, line, and sinker in the back pocket of the media and controlled by these powerful elitists. And we've got a one chance here to do this. And the rest of you don't realize, but in a few years, the entire media will begin to shut down and the intranet will be formed. Now, right now, there's a serious threat to the intranet, or the internet. It is literally being taken over. Google will be the next step. The truth is, Google was literally seizing the rights when they initiated the FCC attempt to control the internet. They turned the internet into a utility. So the FCC now has looked at the internet as a utility, and it's going to give Google the option of competing in your area. And you'll get this really good deal. It'll be like a fiber optics package. It's like, whoa, I can't pay $29.99 a month for the unlimited use fiber optics, right? And you'll go, wow, I got to go for that. Well, then Google will be your internet service provider. I'm just telling you what's coming. Whether you believe it or not, you can just sit back and watch. And then gradually they'll have total control over your internet. So while you guys are watching, thinking his speeches are all wonderful, our nation is collapsing, our freedoms are eroding, and these literally communist Marxists on the Democratic side are digging their stake into your freedom and your future. And you don't even know it. In a few short years, they will have total control over your mind and your future, and they'll want to chip you. And I'm not trying to scare you, I'm trying to make you wake up. But that's serious. Yeah, I'm just telling you what's happening, man. I think Boxy's good, but what is Boxy really? You're a person in a chat room. You're a person with a face. A normal person. Well, I don't know if it's dramatically lowered my credibility. I'm being hosed right now by a group of obviously 4chan people are not just trolls, they're people too. But I mean, they don't really know what to think right now. I'm helping them. I'm helping them align their gaydar. I'm giving them the kind of food for thought that will make them wonder, wow, maybe we did make the wrong turn when we voted Democrat last year. Maybe we did kind of like vote for the wrong guy here in 2012. And that was last year. So we're seeing the final days of the lame duck presidency of Barack Obama, the last gasp of a puppet president. I have been a liberal and I've been a social liberal for, I would say, my entire life, but I've also been a fiscal conservative my entire life. So I see both sides of the political spectrum pretty closely. Hey, Fred wants to see hot girls. We got a lovely lady here on the screen. Obama bin fashion. Are you attracted to him? Her? Him? Yeah. Who's Chet? Exactly. Guest 803. I don't bother banning people during these open shows. You know that. How do you know I even have tits, as you call them? How do you know I'm not like Marilyn Manson and had them removed? Yeah. Aren't you making a big assumption that I'm human? You haven't factored in the possibility that I may not be human. Interesting. You cannot comprehend that possibility. Well, thanks for coming in. At least you hung out and watched our show. Gosh, this has been really kind of exciting. You, the nameless many, and me, the me. Me, David Sponheim. The one and only. I'm gonna play it. I can't stop playing.
Bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop.
How do you like that iridescent sheen I've got going here?
We can't stop.
Kind of angelic, don't you think?
We're gonna dance all night. Bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop.
Let's take it up a notch.
Let's be clear.
In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim. America's Third Party.
Sponheim for president.
We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop. We can't stop. And we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night. Bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop. Can't stop. And we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night. Bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop. Can't stop. Can't stop.
First we hit 'em low, then we hit 'em high. Underrated, but we made it to the finish line. Rhymes designed to combine and intertwine. Spring to the summer, fall, even winter time. Beats banging harder, then head on collisions. We make incisions with precision and quick decisions. Causing double visions if you ain't up to speed. You need to speed it up, partner, piano lead.
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop. We can't stop, can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop. Can't stop, can't stop. We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, we can't stop. We can't stop, we can't stop.
In this coming election year, please vote for David Sponheim. America's Third Party.
Can't stop, and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, can't stop.
Well, let's be clear. This picture right here is the
We can't stop and we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. We can't stop, we can't stop.
Well, let's be clear.
We can't stop.
This is a picture of the president's brain.
And we won't stop. We're gonna dance all night, bring it on.
He has a scar on it.
We can't stop.
You see the scar? You don't see the scar.
In this coming election year,
Forget
please
it.
vote for
Forget I
David
mentioned it.
Sponheim.
You don't want to talk about Obama. You want to enter another dimension. You want me to break through the envelope of the Obama net over our country. I get that.
First we hit 'em low, then we hit 'em high. Underrated, but we made it to the finish line. Rhymes designed to combine and intertwine. Spring to the
We're gonna dance all night, bring it on to the sunlight. Can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, we can't stop, and we won't stop.
In this coming election year, please vote for David Spawn High. America's Third Party.
All right, that was awesome. Thank you for joining me in this wonderful experiment in reality checks. Right on, guys. Hey, thanks for being part of this show. This has been exciting. You're now in the extended portion of our show, where we can talk about some of the inner, more personal problems you're facing. Let's join the voter revolt, everybody. All right? Let's talk about what's really affecting you in your personal area. Are you facing a takeover of Muslims in your area of Los Angeles? Muslim prayers take over downtown LA. Look at this. Muslims. Yeah. Isn't that nice? They're praying in public. Daily event in LA now. Growing gatherings of people trying to pray to Allah. I'm not into the Muslim faith. I'm not religious, as you know. Yeah, so what else do you want to talk about? Anything else? Okay, we got a lot of opportunities to talk tonight. There you go. The tears of a fake president who's constantly pushing for gun control. This is what makes you realize that Barack Obama is a total shill. He murders people with flying robots and UAVs, but then cries when people use guns to protect themselves against government. Unbelievable president we've got, the most deceptive puppet president we've ever had. It's really sad to see our country fall into that category of being manipulated, but so many people are concerned that this is false flag activity, all these crying episodes he does just to get people to really feel the pain. It's all about turning our nation into, it looks green, really? Okay, let me pull it down, hang on. It turning our nation into a disarmed group of weaklings who could be easily taken over and assimilated by the Matrix. The possibilities of our society being controlled by a very powerful group of Marines is entirely possible. It's entirely plausible that the Matrix is taking over Mr. Anderson. Anyway, let's realize that we have to be realistic here. We just can't sit back and freak out by an oppressive government. But last night's scissor fight showed me something really disturbing. You did the Matrix earlier. Yes, I did. It was a 24-second play of a picture that many people think is popular in Matrix. They're killing it, right, Dave? Yeah. Well, politicians and corruption are killing it, basically, yeah. No, I'm not saying that 6-year-old kids killed by guns was for protection. Not at all, Frups. What I'm talking about is you're overreacting to a few instances in which somebody actually died, okay? But you're not reacting to the 1,000 unarmed people that have been killed by police officers with a bullet to their head every year. You're not taking into consideration the possibility that this is brutality, that the real problem is the overtaking Matrix authority figure of a seriously twisted police state. You simply are being sublime idiots like the Jews were in Germany and allowing gun control to slip through your back pocket and up your ass. Well, you are a human being with individual freedom. You need to break out of the mold of stupid liberalism that you're stuck in and realize that every single time some gun control has been pushed on a society, the people have been executed. Every single time Holocausts have occurred. Pretending to cry for American kids while bombing children in Afghanistan and Iraq, Pakistan, Libya, Somalia, Yemen, Syria is a gross act of hypocrisy. Do you understand me? I actually own a couple guns. I have 2 arms. That's right. Have you seen my video about assault BB guns? Have you? Yeah. Well, you should see it. I'll play it for you. All right, yeah. I might as well. I mean, I got the time, right? All right. Well, this will clarify your position on gun control when you hear my video. All right? Thank you. Well, let's be clear. I'm not reading off a teleprompter. This is simply my response to an overtaking police force and a police state that is forming under the Marxist policies of the Democrats. We need to stop them, everybody, and we've got to make this thing possible by building this third party. There's no other way. They literally want to disarm us. They want to take away our arms, and then they want to execute some martial orders. Martial law will be implemented, and then all of a sudden they'll round people up just like they did cattle, like the ethnic minorities in Germany in the 1930s and 40s. The same thing could happen here. Wake up, everybody. Come on. Time to wake up. Time to wake up. I know you're in a trance. All right. I give you the spawning of America.
How you doing, partner? I was wondering if you want to talk about my weaponry. I've got a lot of things up my sleeve here. I got everything from 100% pain, a hot sauce I could throw in somebody's face, or anything. So if somebody wants to cause trouble, they could easily do that with a knife or a steak knife, a common steak knife. I mean, look at the Manson family. They went to the Sizzler and got steak knives. Are you going to outlaw steak knives? I want to talk about the assault weapon ban that they're saying could affect everybody. Question is, do you feel like this Luger is an assault weapon? Well, it's not. It's a BB gun. That's right, rapid fire. And I have it on my person. Or would you possibly think that this is the most powerful assault BB gun in the world? It's a Grossman. It'll shoot a gerbil's head off at 1,000 feet. But think about it. You want assault weapons banned so that you won't be safe and criminals can get your guns? The question is, do you feel lucky? Well, do ya, punk? Is it an assault weapon? When I put a little BB inside and safely pump it up? And then I take a shot at a gerbil. Whoops, bounce back. Well, is that unsafe? Are you to call that an assault weapon? Well, the question is, criminals can get BB guns. They can get a lot worse. They can even get handguns and assault weapons. So why would you want to ban them? Think about it, America. The crime rates dropped 24% in 10 years, with no major changes in gun control. The question is, do you want your rights taken away from you, the right to defend yourself against a tyrannical government? or for that matter, an intruder on your own property. There's no reason for gun control, and I believe that the current administration are a bunch of mamby-pamby girly men who don't realize the power of an assault BB gun. When are you going to stop taking the rights of the American people away? Think about it. And go ahead and make my day. Dun 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 dun.
Yeah. Whoa, no, I did it again. Well, I didn't like that camera anyway. Yeah, that was one of my my rare moments out there in the woods of Washington, filming myself. It took me all of 2 minutes to make that video. That's just the kind of hairpin I am. Yeah. I want to thank you, partners, for coming in. We got 15 more minutes in the extended show. Yeah. Yeah. I want you to go ahead and make my day tonight. Make my night. Yeah. 44 Magnum, the most powerful hand BB gun in the world. It'll blow your hair pubic completely off. Yeah. You heard me. Here we go. Yeah, this has been one sexy show, I'll tell you. I don't think I've ever had more fun in a single show in my life. I mean, thank you guys. Thank you, Four Channelers, for coming in. It's been so awesome. Oh, yeah. You couldn't hit a BB's. Yeah. Ramen Avenger. Yeah. No, I'm a pretty safe guy. Yeah, I'm pretty much, I'm domesticated. Arr. Yeah, I'm a real interesting guy, though, I'll tell you. The more you get to know me, the more you realize what you don't know about me. I know. There's a wealth of information. I'm writing a book. I'm doing an autobiography. My life has been so intense that it's almost filled with endless controversy. This is a real, seriously messed up situation. I'm going to show you something right here. The David Crowley murder-suicide. I don't know if you remember when David Crowley, the guy who created Gray State, was actually, he found dead with his wife and child in Idaho, Apple Valley, Idaho. Well, I want to watch this video with you right now from Scissor Fight, talking about what just happened in the news. They're now claiming that this person who was very patriotic was writing a movie, creating a movie that was going to be about the nation turning into a prison state. Never talked about any Muslim reference at all, as now being referred to as some sort of a jihadist. This is weird.
David shooting Kamel twice in the head, Rania once, before shooting himself. Between their bodies, a Quran with pages torn out, opened to a traditional forgiveness prayer. Day after Christmas. David shooting Kamel twice in the head, Rania once, before shooting himself. Between their bodies, a Quran with pages torn out.
This evidence was never presented at the time that David Crowley died. All of this just came out just the other day. You heard about that? So what Scissor Fight has done is taken just the clip of the Fox 9 morphed video, which is used as propaganda against individuals. When they take an old story like that and embellish on it, they're really reaching deep to try to draw a connection between Crowley and Muslim connections. All of that has never been confirmed. We're dealing with a chain of non-evidence and an endless case of lying by the government. Well, Nightcloud, all I'm saying is it can't run for president. Okay, you're a big Ted Cruz fan, I see. Ted Cruz, it's pretty obvious, was not born in America. So, whether he can run for president is really debatable. All right, so at least we solved that problem just now. You just entered the Matrix, WTF, yeah. Welcome to the show. Have you been cured of being a sheeple? No! Well, I'll keep working on it. It's a long haul, folks. A lot of you have been waking up slowly. And one of the most obvious truths in our world that's becoming more and more apparent is something's wrong with the air, the atmosphere that we're living around. And many of you think that it's global warming. You're so far wrong, but yet you might be right. What's going on is our weather is being artificially modified up above. And they've been doing this for 70 years now. Cloud seeding, moving things around by pushing chemicals into the atmosphere that are electromagnetically charged and could move around using electronic frequencies. And I know this sounds a little sci-fi, but it's been happening. And there have been top officials.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Scientific point of view, from an academic point of view, we might see that.
So it would be where you have systems that have got their own longer timescales.
I'm not ditching anybody right now. We're talking about politics. This is an ongoing event. You like Cruz the best? Okay, well, we're not here to talk about Cruz. But climatologists and weather modification experts like this guy are openly saying they've been doing this for years, decades. So what's happening is this constant, almost an endless misuse of our atmosphere by the government using chemicals. And when they make a mistake, they can't correct it by pulling it away, so they just amplify the mistake by pushing more chemicals into the atmosphere. And they've been doing that pretty regularly now. That's the problem. Yeah, so it's not a good thing to know that our government's been engaged in this behavior. But they've been actually doing it out in front of everyone. In fact, the government's said that they're going to use the West Coast and the East Coast as a nuclear, biological, and chemical testing area. It's just a fact. That's what they've said in the EIS report, Environmental Impact Statement. The Navy just does every 5 years. So they're already using the atmosphere as a testing area. What you're breathing is being tested by our government by dumping chemicals into the atmosphere you're breathing, okay? So a guy like this has been a PhD, working in weather modification, actually comes out and talks about it openly at this meeting.
Oceans, ice systems, presuming that you detected the tipping point was still far enough away, there certainly would be potential to imagine that a concerted mitigation could prevent you crossing it.
What he's referring to is the tipping point of the global climate change problem. Now, it has reached a point where they may not be able to actually pull it into alignment using traditional methods. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I can't play it on our show, though, because they won't allow minors. Pictures, Boxy Baby. That was a cute picture. But I can't play it on Vaughn. They have a limitation on what they can. Okay. Now, this is got an old miner. These are two old miners, but not young miners. So they're old miners from the old West. These aren't young miners. So I can play this. Yeah. Those are pretty cool. Yeah, I'd say they're having a little powwow out there in the Middle West. Anyway, I'm going to let him tell you more. He's just basically talking about what they are doing, and they're now talking about carbon filtration. I mean, this is a top scientist who's been dumping chemicals in the atmosphere for 70 years, and they're finally talking about maybe filtering carbon out of the atmosphere, you think?
When it comes to some faster systems, monsoons that may or may be being disrupted perhaps more by aerosol pollution locally than by the large-scale warming trend, then you have the advantage that that these are short-lived radiative forcing agents, and that you might be able to alter their inputs quite quickly with effective policy. But clearly, in some cases, the early warning, I think of it more as an aid to adaptation. Now, there may be cases where we get a warning. In fact, you could say, and Ricardo was kind of telling us, that we've had some possible detections of having passed some tipping points in Antarctica and possibly Greenland already.
Yes, the tipping points. I want to thank Boxy Babe for her sign language tonight. That was very good. You're doing very good with the sign languages. Yeah. I totally get it, yeah. Okay. Talk about that, Pacific Bob. Search this on YouTube. What's that? So this guy is kind of an educated fool. A PhD piled higher, deeper of BS that he's been feeding people all these years. He's finally coming to the conclusion even he doesn't know what's going to happen. Now, France is bringing in bulldozers to smash a third. This is a news story out of Daily Mail. A third of the Calais jungle after migrants refuse to move into the new 20 million housing because it looks like a prison camp. So 1,500 refugees in Calais jungle camp are refusing to move into the new built house. Police serve the eviction notices. Oh yeah, this is what happens when you do know you know what to a you know what, Larry. Yeah, that's right. Hey. No, the Daily Mail is only the CIA rag sheet. No, they would never lie. Did I not see your link? No, I missed it. Chemtrails, webs falling from the sky. This is weird. Let's take a look.
Okay, it's November 1st, 2015, and I'm looking up into a clear blue sky with a manual focus at about 300 feet.
Wow.
Probably, no, more like 200 feet.
Exactly. This
and
is what I'm talking about.
These very suspicious chemtrail webs. My area was sprayed a week ago, very heavy. Since then, we've had 2 hard rains. So all the fibers disappeared. But as of yesterday, October 31st, Halloween, these fibers started falling again. And they're continuing to fall November 1st,
Look at this, folks.
midday. And as you can see, there's just a huge amount of stuff up there.
Yeah. This is what I'm talking about. I experienced my pond, which I raise koi fish. And my koi fish are struggling right now. It really is. So I missed your link. Don't have that one. Sorry. Yeah, I'm trying to get it now. Hey, Chet. You know. It's just a GIF. Okay, thank you. Mr. Anderson, you sure you aren't Duke Nukem? Yeah, I'm really glad Scissor Fight pulled up that little clip from the Channel 9 News. Oh my God. Here's your link. John Wayne something. Thug Life. This one made you laugh.
You can't what?
I can't swim.
How old are you?
6. Help him! He can't swim!
Well, then you go get it.
Well, I can't swim either.
You know, that would be deemed violence against children. I'm glad that was professionally engineered by John Wayne. Well, let me tell you, Pilgrim. Cling, 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 cling. Hey, Caleb, what's going on? Are you worried about that nasty itch you have? I know. I hear you. It's the clingy itch. Stop wearing nylon. Yeah, spider webs at 200 feet up. Yeah, Ninja Heart. It's called chemtrails, everybody. And that's what this guy's alluding to, because it's past the tipping point. And even he, in this recent July 8th meeting, admits it.
We're not in a position to stop the tipping point there. I still think there are management options which we could discuss to limit the rate at which the resulting sea level rise would ensue. But I would still say that forewarned is forearmed. So if we knew something very bad was coming, even if we couldn't stop it happening, we know how much that we have considerable adaptive capacity, depending on the nature of the event, to reduce the impacts and the vulnerability or exposure we have.
Oh yes, we're going to reduce the vulnerability and exposure. In other words, we are being poisoned from up above, and this is the guy that's in charge of one of the programs, okay? Now, if you voted for Obama, we don't want your business because you're too stupid to own a firearm, okay? Yeah, I don't mind Republicans coming out against this gun control thing. I'm all for the rights of people to bear arms. I totally agree that it's our right, and it's built into our Constitution. So what Obama is doing is unconstitutional right now. Frankly, trying to push gun control on a country that already has... Unless he's going to pass a constitutional amendment, okay, then get the hell out of Dodge. You understand me? Yeah. What do you have there, Boxy Babe? Your great little GIF? Boy, you're really into the Boxy Babe girl, aren't you? Okay, she's 18. Thank you for clarifying that. Scissor fight, LOL. Cloudy with a chance of arachnids? Spider rain explain. Oh, come on. See, we've got a person debunking it, calling it spider rain. Oh yeah, here we go. When it's really just chemtrail activity raining down, and this person's now, it's a spider web. See, this is the mind of the liberal, constantly looking for ways to debunk every single thing that comes their way that might in fact be true. Now let's listen to this guy who is telling the truth. Well, better yet, let me just show you the preeminent NASA authority who has openly stated that we are being hit with chemtrails, and then we'll start from that. Okay.
Yeah, it's very important we communicate what we're doing to the public. We're very interested in making sure everyone knows what we're doing. We're not, we're a civilian space agency dedicated to science and research and so on. So we're very keen to make sure that the taxpayers know what we're doing and everything. So,
well, you know, when the article came out in the major newspapers, including the Huffington Post, there was no mention of lithium. Not one. Not one mention of lithium. Until I heard the recording of the actual, I listened to it. I listened to the rockets go off. I had no idea there was going to be a lithium dispersed until I heard payload lithium dispersed.
Right, there was lithium dispersed, and I'd be happy to talk to you about it. I think you might be under some misconceptions about what we're doing, but I'm happy to tell you any details that you need.
Well, I know that it says in your article that you're doing it for communications.
Okay, I'm happy to talk to you more about it. There are many reasons we're doing it.
Okay.
We don't understand how the wind in the upper atmosphere moves.
Mm-hmm.
In these chemtrails, there's different kinds of chemtrails, as you probably know. Different trails at night we use and different trails during the day. The wind blows them around. Understand how the wind in the upper atmosphere moves.
Mm-hmm.
In these chemtrails, there's different kinds of chemtrails, as you probably know. Different trails at night we use and different trails during the day.
Okay.
How the wind in the upper atmosphere moves.
Mm-hmm.
In these chemtrails, there's different kinds of chemtrails.
I've seen enough. Okay, that's really good. Okay, we've got another... we don't take Snopes' statements because we know that they're coming from George Soros. But Snopes is exposed. We've been talking about Snopes being part of the Annenberg Foundation as well as factcheck.org. A lot of you Democrats are kind of like me in 2007 when I woke up to what was going on. Yeah. The Democrats are literally trying to control the destiny of our country with Marxist policies originating from people like George Soros. And they're trying to strip you of your freedoms, your rights, and that's really the Waterloo break point for our nation. For our nation to have a gun control pushed down our throats so hard with false events, with fake events going on, like false flags. We've seen them all the way back to Sandy Hook. We've seen them as far back as, there's just not a string of evidence that we can lock in and say, oh yeah, Sandy Hook really did happen. When they took the school down, the elementary school was leveled, and any evidence that we could glean from that is gone. And it took the state of Connecticut 11 months to produce something without any blood evidence inside the school at all. Verifying in my mind that it didn't really happen the way they said it did. But now Snopes is exposed, heavily financed by George Soros. Okay, interesting. I'll take a look at that more closely later. Thank you. No, there is no, believe me, I can handle any science you throw at me, piece by piece. I can pull it apart. Thank you, Green Eyed Girl. I'm looking very pimp tonight. I don't watch the episodes of Teen Mom, but thanks. Wow, I don't even get cable. Yeah, poison is poison, and they've been dumping everything in our atmosphere for a long, long time. Like I said, since 1946, they've been modifying the weather. So anyway, I went to my pond, and my little fish are struggling because there's all this black on the bottom. Every bit of algae I have in that pond is dead. You know why they put silver in silver-activated water filters? Because it kills bacteria. It's also deadly in certain toxic levels. My fish right now are struggling to survive. Every bit of algae is dead. That's a good thing. Now I have to vacuum up the bottom of the pool, of the pond. But it triggered my realization that we are literally being blanketed with skies filled with silver iodide. And these chemtrails, or whatever you want to call it, have been going on a long time. So they've got a slew of chemicals in the atmosphere they don't want you to talk about. Good to see you too. Thank you. Thanks for coming in. We've been slammed a little bit by a lot of guests earlier by the 4chan group. Many of you are probably, gone by now, but some of you are still sticking out thinking, well, maybe I have something good to offer. We want to stop this type of behavior from going on. If it isn't the government, then who the hell is it? The FAA has been overseeing this, and they don't even know where some of these planes are delivering these things. A lot of them are off the grid. If you go to Flight 24, which is an online tool people use to track airplanes around the country, many of these things fly around in circles and drop loads of chemicals on cities. And there's no rhyme or reason to it other than the possibility that they're actually trying to kill off the population. Or something like the NASA scientist was saying, we're testing how the weather moves. I mean, whatever. Bottom line is they're poisoning the American people through the air. And this process has been going on for such a long time that you're probably now feeling the effects of years of being dumped on. Whatever it is, barium, selenium, aluminum, silver iodide, or more toxic nanoparticles, it's affecting the human population and our ability to think. The lithium, we know, is affecting human population and their ability to think. It's a Class D danger for pregnant women to be around lithium, but they're dumping it on our heads. And then you introduce the possibility that people are getting GMOs in their diet, and Hillary wants GMOs. She thinks GMOs are just great. And Donald doesn't even know what a GMO is. He's so out of it, out of tune. Yeah. Okay, Ninja Heart has a recommendation to look up the Operation Gladio B. Yeah, started in Italy. It's a false flag operation. I checked into it. Thanks, Ninja Heart. I checked into it. It's pretty interesting. The government's been seeding terrorism around the world. The CIA op right now to create ISIS has been going on for some time. That's why Donald has been talking about it, because I've been talking about it for 3 years. Here's a put very succinctly in this little caption here about Obama's position on gun control. Well, let's be clear. All Muslims are not to blame and should not be punished for Islamic terrorism. But all gun owners are responsible for every mass shooting, and their rights should be restricted. Good point. That's a very well done piece there. I'm going to copy it to my library. Thank you. Wow. And we keep sitting back and watching them mold all these false flag statements. Not only are they trying to drive us to hate Muslims like Donald is doing, which I don't hate Muslims. I don't have any personal hatred toward anyone. I don't want anyone to want to kill me because I don't agree with them. I'm intolerant regarding intolerant religious groups. Yeah. The look at the guy in the video is a liar. What? Okay. You should start screaming. Yeah, I am screaming. Thank you. We don't get that, Boxy baby. Yeah, I don't know where you're streaming or watching your show, but yeah, we're always open to new possibilities. That's for sure. So a FBI whistleblower, Pentagon, CIA, NATO, and MI6 were masterminds behind 9/11. So here's a truth or bit of information. Interesting. Thanks for coming into our extended show too. I decided to do another hour and make it a 4-hour show because frankly 3 hours just isn't enough to talk about gayness, Obama, and the failed State of the Union message that he just delivered, as well as all these other interesting tidbits about cover-ups and 9/11. So yeah, it gets, the deeper you go down the rabbit hole, the longer it takes. So well, let's take a look at this story. Sybil Edmonds just released her fantastic spy thriller, The Lone Gladio. Here's our review comparing it to The Best of Clancy. Okay. All right. She was deemed, or he was deemed, Sybil was deemed credible by the Department of Justice inspector. Okay. And the ACLU described Edmonds as the most gagged person in the history of the United States of America. Wow. Daniel Ellsberg says Edmonds possesses information far more explosive than the Pentagon Papers. And he also says the White House has ordered the press not to cover Edmonds. He would not be intimidated. Oh, so it is a woman. Sybil Edmonds would not let an intimidating FBI shut her mouth, and as a result suffered grievous consequences. But she's persevered, and we are better off for her sacrifices. She's a founding member president of the National Security Whistleblowers Coalition, high-level intelligence officers and security officers. And this talks about Operation Gladio. You had to attack civilians, people, women, children. Wow. And it continues this day. Well, thanks for that link. Wow. Interesting. Yeah. Always good to get more information on some of the dark aspects of our secret CIA ops that are going on. We can only watch what goes on the internet. That's all we've got as a tool. I am anti-Zionist, guest 810. You're back again to tell me I need some psychiatric help? That's so funny. If I was suffering from something, I would agree with you, but I'm not suffering. I'm so well adjusted and happy. That's amazing that you should think that. I'm for real, yeah. Trump is a fake. Now let's be clear. No, I don't think Islam is slandered at all. At this point, I believe that you can speak out against Muslims if you want. Absolutely. You're really into this chick, Boxy. Okay, no, dude, you need to seek somebody seriously to help you. You're projecting, and I told you, reaction formation, which is a psychiatric disorder. It's a neurosis. It could even be a psychosis. That's not true. That's a self-sealing premise which does not apply to people who are running for president, who have every right to run for president. You can't stifle my right to run for president. That's one thing you cannot do. And calling me delusional, thinking I want to be your president, well, frankly, it is a little odd that somebody would want to help you, considering how worthless you've become. Yeah. It's sad. The whole country's become so demoralized that you don't even realize your future is at stake here. Well, let's be clear. And a lot of you have become so complacent that you don't even know what's good for you. You're like the little caboose going, oh, push me, Mom. Well, I'm waiting. And the little engine whose parents did everything for him and waiting for the parents to push him out of the house, and you're just staying with Mom and Dad going, oh, I don't know. Mommy, I don't want to go to the cruel world. I'm afraid. Oh. And the nanny state is taking care of you now. And, I want to find a good purpose for you in your life. I don't want to force you to do anything. I want you to want to do things. I want you to love doing something and really become emboldened by that and empowered by it. The idea of maybe becoming a gardener or cleaning houses, or maybe you just want to hang out and watch TV for fun. Okay, thank you, 466. No, the hair is actually it's designer hair. Yeah, I actually had to go out of my way to go get a conditioner today to get this look. So I told the lady at Sally's Beauty Shop I need some help. Testing 1 2. Hey, it's going very well. Nightmare 1973. Hey, show some respect. Dimmy Dave is claiming the observing the reality of Islam is naughty. No. I'm concerned about jihadist Muslims. I am. I really don't want them to proliferate in our country. Well, you haven't even been in here more than 3 seconds, so you haven't earned much time here. Well, not if you go to the clearance section, and it's buried deep in the Sally's archives. Yeah. If you haven't seen the clearance section, you haven't looked. I found a $16 container of conditioner for $3.69. It's this big. And it's an all-natural conditioner. It's really cool. I'm just, my whole day has been, is this the same Boxy chick? She makes great GIFs. Yeah. Good for you. Or you are Boxy Babe. I've got her in the show, everybody. Whoa. We have Boxy Babe in the show. She's promoting her GIFs. That's great. Well, this is getting too fun. We're going to have to bring in some music. I did this little piece on Acid by Sony, an audio editing system that edits some really good music. I need to get another audio editor. I'm going to have to buy one. Scissorpie, you'll have to help me with an audio editor. I'm looking for something that doesn't constantly give me copyright violations. Yeah, the audio loops that they use in a lot of these audio editors oftentimes are now seeking copyright control at Google. But I know they won't grab this one because I made it, and it came out of my own brain. It was screwed up. Something happened to it. It's clipping a little bit.
How the wind in the upper atmosphere moves.
Mm-hmm.
In these chemtrails, there's different kinds of chemtrails, as you probably know. Different trails at night we use, and different trails during the day. How the wind in the upper atmosphere moves.
Mm-hmm.
In these chemtrails, there's
Okay, yeah, my audio card was kind of breaking up there. I don't know what's going on. It's degrading over time, that song. Hey, this is the deal. This live stream is political suicide? No, this is the only way. I can't reach out to anybody. I've been censored by the mainstream media for over 7 years. I can't reach out any other way. Dave, some casters on Vaughn said you look crazy. Well, why would I listen to other casters on Vaughn? I mean, how many of them aren't alcoholics? Me? How many of them aren't drug addicts? Me? Yeah, this site is virtually troll free, really? Okay. Yeah, and I never even wanted the VIP thing. Actually, I asked not to be VIP'd, but it was gifted to me. I can't control it. Kind of like the world sticking me out here in censor land. In any event, somebody said, let's talk about the Wigner effect with radiation. Guess 872, thank you. No, Scissor Fight isn't pulling the strings. He's just a guy who provides some music for us. And great troll. I guess we've got troll material to give you. Yeah, like links, things that you want to find out about, stuff like that. Acid Pro is not for composing music. Yeah, we're just looping files. Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Yes243, for clarifying that. Well, no, I'm not a Wigger, but I can tell you the Wigger effect. It's called the Wigner effect. And with radiation, what's going on is the building. Yeah, we need more bait for the trolls, I know. The building, the reactor number 4 is located in Fukushima, is encountering the Wigner effect, which is an extended period of time in which it's a decomposition effect that goes on with radiation. What's happening is all of the radiated material in the buildings is slowly vaporizing into the atmosphere, causing a human danger of maximum proportion. You don't realize it, but you're breathing potentially harmful pollution from Fukushima because your president did nothing to stop anything from getting worse. Obama hasn't even mentioned Fukushima in 4 years. So when we look at the Wigner effect, we're looking at the breakdown of material that could very well be causing disease for years to come in our environment and in our air lungs encounter. Any solid can be affected by the Wigner effect. To create the Wigner effect, neutrons that collide with the atoms in a crystal structure must have enough energy to displace them from the lattice. This amount, threshold displacement energy, is approximately 25 microvolts. A neutron's energy can vary widely, but it's uncommon to have energies up to and exceeding 10 microvolts, millimicrovolts, in the center of a nuclear reactor. Now, in the case of Fukushima, that's not the case. There is a slurry of corium that is literally going airborne as we speak. That's why we absolutely, emphatically need to get a handle on this nuclear reactor at Fukushima. If 1 in 3 are salvageable, you must be smoking some really good ganja there, buddy. Yeah. The entire area needs to be covered with a large mound of dirtcrete. I call it dirtcrete. I don't even know if it exists, but I'm making up a word to imply what I want to do. This is the reactor. It's like that old saying, here's the, yeah, well, the steeple and the, here's the steeple. And anyway, here's the reactor that we have to cover. Yeah, we can't save anything. It's going to be covered with a large mound. That's my proposal. And I can make this happen in 2017 as your president. But unfortunately, none of this can ever be done with people like Hillary or Donald because they're so completely controlled by their handlers. This is something that will have to be very forthright and approach Japan to make this happen. But I want to build a mound on top of the reactor, digging a trench around the vehicle, around the actual reactors themselves to divert water, which is draining into this bay. And I also want to put an aircraft carrier or something to block this, unmanned, and we'll use unmanned drone tugboats to put it in position. But this needs to be sunk right there to block that leak of radiation. These two effects over the entire area and the mound itself could also be coupled with a fast breeder reactor to get rid of 97% of the dangerous spent fuel that is currently there. A simple plan, if executed, could very well save the world. Ow! Sorry. Didn't mean to hurt your ears there. Box of B, we're playing a song? Well, we can't. We're still on YouTube broadcast. I'm recording everything. I can't play anything that's public or copyrighted that would be deemed a copyright infringement. 93% of American counties haven't recovered from the recession. Zero Hedge has a story talking about the truth about our recession, folks. You know, sometimes it takes like a 4-hour period to get into the meat of our show. So you may, whenever you see our videos, you may want to just fast forward to the last hour because it seems like the first 2 hours today have been dealing with trolls and the incessant questioning of my sexuality. And as you know, I am a heterosexual. Yeah. Okay, supposedly the Fed's decision to hike rates last month conveyed something about the strength of the U.S. economy. I think the economy is on the road to recovery. Diminutive Chairwoman Yellen told the Economic Club of Washington 2 weeks before liftoff. We're doing well, she added for good measure. Now, first, the idea that we're on the road to recovery is a bit disconcerting in and of itself. After all, it's not as if the crisis happened last year. We're talking about recovering from something that happened 8 long years ago. If we're not there yet, one would be forgiven for suggesting that we're not ever going to get there. Second, to the extent the data to show something that to be untrained eye might be mistaken for a robust recovery, you have to remember that the statistics can be made to show whatever a bunch of central planners want them to show. So when the economy, when they said the unemployment was at 5%, they really meant 45%. We have 45% unemployment. We redid the numbers, and somebody actually got the statistic of the number of people that can actually work in our country. And the truth is, folks, this is really kind of like a wild wake-up call for a lot of people. There's 202 million people in America that are employable right now. The rest are either elderly or children or sick and barely alive in a hospital bed. And when you do the numbers, there's, say, 202, well, let's just start with the number of people that are really out of work. There's 93 million people, actually slightly more than that, out of work. And we divide that by 200, I'll even up it to 203 million people of able-bodied employees. 45, make that even 40, you can round up to 46, but I'm going to say 45% unemployment in this great United States of America. That's the statistical judo that's being thrown down your throat every day that you listen to somebody like Barack Obama. That we have a 5% unemployment. Whoa, it's all BS. Everything's BS coming out of this complete two-faced puppet of a president. Okay, Lion of Judah is here to talk about a major methane leak. We are tracking it.
We're going to get into
LA
all
County,
that, but
folks.
first,
The Aliso Canyon leak is getting out of control, and Obama, again, probably never mentioned that in the State of the Union address. Yeah, this guy has been completely controlled, and everything about him says puppet, 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 puppet. Anybody can read off a teleprompter. I don't do that. I've never read off a teleprompter in my life. I just deliver a show every night. Okay? But I think we should play this video. Thank you for that link. I'll play that right out. In 2 minutes, I'll start the show off with that. All right. No, it's not the Japanese that I'm talking about, guys. Come on. 14,000 sea lions have died off the coast of California, Oregon, and Washington. Are you that out of it? You think that I'm worried about the Japanese? I'm worried about the world. Fukushima is an extinction level event that could get worse and worse over time. Your gonads are at stake. I'm talking your language now here, okay? Yeah. You might not be able to touch your little wee-wee and have fun every day, or whatever you have. All right. Everything's at stake here. Campbell calls for nationwide mandatory GMO labeling. That's pretty interesting. Okay, so Campbell's is stepping out of the GMO world. Look at this. This is exciting, folks, from Natural News. Yeah, that's interesting. So Campbell's is now saying, hey, no to GMOs, or at least wanting labeling done. This is really exciting. This will help their branding, yeah. GM Ingredients comes out in favor of mandatory GMO labeling. Okay. They're probably going to say they're all GMO. They revoked their support for biotech front groups that oppose GMO labeling at the state level. They're declaring a new era of food transparency. Yeah. Well, I hope they realize a lot of their food is probably GMO. Whatever. Okay, that's great. Donald Trump not only what? No, not at all. In fact, Donald Trump borrows most of his ideas from me. Yeah, he actually went to our room in 2012 and copied all of our ideas. Yeah, my 1,000-mile fence idea, he talked about the tariff that I came up with, and then he doubled it to 30% on China. Yeah, he's been manipulating all kinds of things. He's even talking about weapons-free safe zones now, which was my idea from 2008. This guy is all about plagiarization. He's a liar, a corporate pig, and a liar. And if you're saying he's extemporaneous, what he's doing is he's simply reciting my ideas. All right? So get that through your thick Republican head. I don't care about the union. I'm not in favor of public unions. I'm not like the Democrats. Yes, he knows who I am. Thank you. He won't talk about me in the news because it would only give me press. I've had zero time in the mainstream media. 7 years doing this, I've had zero time. You do the math, and you tell me this country is free and democratic. We are lied to, manipulated. Our press is completely censored. And that's the end of our show. So thanks for coming in. We'll be back tomorrow with a Wasteful Wednesday. We will, however, play videos into the evening like we normally do. We do this all the way to 2 a.m. if you want to just sit and chat and hang out in the show. But thank you for coming in. Now we take you to the alert, a methane leak in LA County. We had a great 4-hour show. I appreciate it. Been good. Thanks for coming in, guys, and thanks for checking me out. We do an unparalleled, nonstop virtual chat every night, except for Sunday. Our time is normally 6 to 9, but we extend out to 10 o'clock sometimes. All right, I'll play this privately, but thank you for watching this recorded broadcast, all of you YouTubers. And we'll see you guys tomorrow for Wasteful Wednesday.